Homestand for the Nationals, 5 wins and 6 tries, climbing back toward 500. Pitching and defense consistently leading the way. The offense finding a hero when they need one most. Tonight, Ichiro and the Mariners make a rare appearance in D.C., and Levon is waiting in Game 1. Well, the Nationals had their winning streak snapped on Sunday as the Orioles came down and took Game 3 of that series. But tonight, they may start a new series against the Seattle Mariners. Interleague play continues at Nationals Park. We expect a good crowd on hand tonight. Bob Carpenter taking a few days off. Johnny Holiday, the idol of my life the last, 3 or 4 months, FP Santangelo. Great to be with you, my friend.
Well, welcome to the booth. Let's get after it.
Thank you very much. We don't know too much about Seattle. We don't see them that often.
I know, and that's because, they're in the other league, and this is, interleague play. But with the Mariners, this is a series where you really have to rely on your advanced scouting. Scouting reports are very big. So for that, you look what's coming up for the Nationals at the Mariners. If it gets the Mariners right now, then at the White Sox, at the Angels. And, the White Sox, they're always interesting. Adam Dunn, you got Ozzie Guillen with getting ejected last night. Then they go to Anaheim to play the Angels. Torrey Hunter, Bobby Abreu, Jared Weaver, 9-4 with a 2.01 ERA. So back to the West Coast, coming back from a 6-5 West Coast swing. So, although they don't know these teams, you got to rely on the scouting report. It's going to be a very interesting road trip and an interesting series right here against the Mariners.
We saw vintage Levon Hernandez last Wednesday. 3 base runners, 3 hits to the St. Louis Cardinals, 10-0 shutout. Seattle could be in trouble the way he seems like he's right back on track again.
Levon Hernandez loves to pitch at home. All 4 of Levo's wins have been in this ballpark where he has a 1.97 ERA. He was fantastic last time out against the St. Louis Cardinals. Kept them off balance. It's going to be very interesting to see how he addresses this Mariners lineup. I see a 208, a 187, a 194, and a pitcher that's never hit before. So maybe he'll take aggressive advantage of Seattle's aggressiveness tonight.
Well, he's got an offense behind him with Michael Morse, a guy that's been the hottest hitter in baseball. He's been unbelievable. Morse with a 375 batting average on this homestand. So we'll see what happens tonight. Game 1 of 3 against the Seattle Mariners. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back and have that first pitch coming up in just a moment. Great to have you with us. Game 1 of a series against the Seattle Mariners. The Message is brought to you by AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. By BMW, the ultimate driving machine. And by Commuter Connections, we'll get you home guaranteed. Beautiful shot of our nation's capital, just off to the left field stands here at Nationals Park, our U.S. Capitol. And a good crowd on hand tonight because, as we mentioned earlier, we never have a chance to watch Seattle very much, being interleague play. But now a chance to have the White Sox on the horizon and the Angels after this three-game series. And our train weather. Visit Trane.com for an independent train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. Our train game temperature 84 degrees here at Nationals Park. Nationals bullpen FP lights out since June 10th, leads all of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, fantastic. Check out the ERA.
Yep, 105. Seattle during interleague play, 27-21 on the road, fifth best in the Major League since way back in 2006. And the defense, the last game for the Nationals, tying that season high with 3 errors, but they did come up with 4 double plays.
I'm going to draw on that right there because, you know what, that was just an anomaly. Those guys have been playing fantastic all season long. Forget about that last game with the 3 E's.
Well, nobody's been playing better than the Nationals. First time they've met Seattle since 2008. They have won 6 straight from the Mariners. And let's take a look at the Seattle lineup tonight. Familiar name of that leadoff spot in right field, Ichiro Suzuki. Brendan Ronald hit second. He's the shortstop for the Mariners. Adam Kennedy, the former National, batting third. And Justin Smoke in that cleanup spot, the first baseman. Dustin Ackley just crawled up from a AAA Tacoma, playing, I believe, his 4th ball game for Seattle. Carlos Peguero, Franklin Gutierrez, Chris Jimenez, and Doug Fister on the mound. And there is the ageless wonder, the tantalizing right-hander Livan Hernandez.
Yeah, you remember last time out, he earned his first win in 9 starts, a 10-0 shutout against the Cardinals. It was the 9th shutout of his career, the 50th complete game of his career. 105 pitches, just 3 singles, struck out 6, walked none. He benefited from 4 Nationals home runs. Fastball, slider, 3 different curveballs and a change from Livan Hernandez. His control was impeccable last time. He was shaving the strike zone all night, teasing the Cardinals hitters. Let's see what he does against the Mariners tonight. A bunch of guys that he really doesn't know. Let's check out the defense behind Livan tonight. Nix, Bernardino, and Wirth in the outfield. Desmond and Zimmerman on the left side. Espinosa and Morse on the right side. And doing the catching, Wilson Ramos.
461st consecutive start. Never been in the DL for Livan Hernandez, and there's a guy that I know has got to be saying to himself, FP, I hope I have a good series against these guys and show them they made a mistake and get rid of me.
Well, you know what, Johnny? That's the one thing he can't do. A lot of times when you face the team that got rid of you or the team you used to play for, you fall into the trap of trying too hard. Just go out and do what you've been doing. You've been locked in. You've been in beast mode for about a month right there. Stay right on it and don't try to do too much.
And as much as we talk about Michael's offense, how about Michael's defense? Outstanding at first base. Hernandez gets set to go to the mound. And here we go. Suzuki stands in. Seems like he's been around forever. 37 years of age. Takes a call strike. The ball game underway at 7:08 on a rather humid night here in Washington. Ichiro with a .277 batting average. No home runs, 21 RBIs, but 18 stolen bases. 17 for 51 in 12 games against the Nationals franchise. Fouls it back, and ahead of the count goes Livan. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 10th consecutive 200-hit season last year for Ichiro, and 10th consecutive All-Star selection for him as well. And the guys in blue working this ball game tonight. Jim Wolf, the home plate umpire. John Tumpain at first. Darryl Cousins down at second, and Ron Coppola at third. And the 2-2. Inside, the count's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Suzuki.
Man, Livan will take a walk around the mound right now. That's a pitch that he wanted. And that's the front door sinker that he features to lefties, and that's a good pitch.
Last time out, Livan didn't walk anybody against the Cardinals. Terrific outing. And he gave up 3 hits, fouled back out of play behind the third base dugout. The count remains 3-2.
And Ichiro might be the only guy in baseball that can take that front door sinker and hit it to left field. The way he leaves the batter's box, the way he's running out of there all the time. He'd actually start running to first base and get that pitch and hit it to left.
And the 3-2. And he kind of punches it between Desmond and Zimmerman for a base hit. So Suzuki, Ichiro a base hit to lead off the ball game for Seattle.
That's just what I'm talking about. You see the front door sinker kind of leaks back to the outer half of the plate, and check out the swing, the Hall of Fame swing from Ichiro Suzuki. Now a 9-game hitting streak. He came in 16 of his last 34, 471, and he could add to that.
And the Mariners shortstop steps in now. Brendan Ryan. Ryan, a .251 hitter. 53 hits on the season, no homers, and 23 driven in. Ichiro with 18 stolen bases. And Hernandez gets ahead in the count. No balls and a strike. Levo can get that gun up, can't he? FP up to about middle 80s, high 80s?
Yeah, I think at the end of his last start against the Cardinals, he actually hit 88, 89 a couple of times in the 9th inning. So with the crowd behind him, he was all fired up, almost touched 90 miles an hour.
He's ahead to Brendan Ryan. Ichiro gets back safely to first. Ryan last month hit .384 the month of May with this ball club. Seattle 37 and 35. Very much in contention of the West. Only a game back of Texas. Now go down to Morse. He has no play at second. Touches the bag and there's one down. And Suzuki down to second. And a familiar face, Adam Kennedy, who's been lighting it up in Seattle, hitting .274 and playing some good defense down at third.
Yeah, he's been getting the job done for these guys all season long.
So Hernandez with one down at the top of the first.
He's appeared in 57 games for the Mariners, making 46 starts, 33 at second, 8 at first, 1 at third, and he's DH 4 times.
Kennedy spent a couple of years here at Washington. Terrific guy to work with. 1,400th career hit. Came against the Tigers back in June 10th. And the 0-1 from Hernandez to Adam Kennedy. He's going to throw back to second. Ichiro gets back safely.
And sometimes that's all it takes with a base stealer. One pickoff throw to second base and let him know you haven't forgot about him. Let him know you're there. It keeps him from getting a better jump.
Up here we saw the winning streak of 8 come to an end on Sunday, but this club has been playing so well they can just as easily start off another 8-game streak.
Yeah, and they have to remember what got them there. And we talked about it a lot on the broadcast on Sunday. You know, when you win 8 games in a row at the highest level, it takes tons of focus, tons of concentration, tons of effort, and a great attitude. And they did a lot of things right. Great defense, great pitching, timely hitting. All of a sudden, the offense came alive with the return of the third baseman. Ryan Zimmerman back of the lineup. Everybody took a deep breath, relaxed, went out there and did their thing. And I've been saying all year long, they're a little offense away from being the talk of baseball, and you're seeing it right now.
Ichiro at second, ahead in the count, 0 balls and 2 strikes to Adam Kennedy. And Leon will check Ichiro at second. Desmond coming in faking like he's going to get the throw behind him. And Jim Riggleman spent just a little time in Seattle. You just saw a shot of the skipper right there. Done a magnificent job with this ball club. And the pitch is outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. One down here in the top of the first.
And a lot of people were talking before the game. He did a magnificent job at the end of the 2008 season for the Mariners, sweeping the Oakland Athletics and allowing the Nationals to have the first pick and get Steven Strasburg the next year. So finishing out the string in Seattle, he swept the A's. All of a sudden, the Nationals had the worst record in baseball, and they had the first pick. It was Steven Strasburg.
And he was a bench coach with Seattle before taking over the ball club, and John McLaren was kind of showing the door. Ironic that both these guys together here in Washington. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Adam Kennedy. Johnny Holiday, FP Santangelo. Happy to have you joining us tonight. Bob Carpenter taking a couple of days off. Will return on Friday night.
It makes you wonder, too, Johnny, if you're the Oakland A's, and there's such a big pick like Strasburg out there, you don't want that guy in your league.
No. Another base hit to right. Ichiro will score, and the Mariners have a 1-0 lead on Kennedy's RBI. That's number 22. And it's 1-0 Seattle. Neither one of those balls were hit hard, FP.
Well, Ichiro hit his ball well in the 5.5 hole. I've seen him do that his whole career, and I've also seen Adam Kennedy do that his whole career. It's a little looping single. You look at the pitch from Livan Hernandez, tries to go with the front door sinker. And that one had a lot of plate as well, so AK just drops one into right field. Knock, RBI, 1-0 Mariners.
That'll bring up the Mariners' first baseman, Justin Smoke, who leads this club in RBIs and home runs. He's hit 12 out and driven in 40. And Hernandez misses outside. And it's 1 ball and no strike.
I'm looking at Livan's stuff compared to his last outing. Last outing, he hit his spots every time, was pounding the lower half of the strike zone. A tremendous command, was getting all the calls. Tonight, maybe those 105 pitches he threw last time are affecting him.
Archer down to second, gets past Espinoza. And Kennedy wisely holding up at second as Worth quickly comes in with the throw.
Also worried about the fact that Livan Hernandez doesn't have a lot of knowledge about the Mariners hitters. I mean, this is a guy that's been around the league, relies on what he knows, one of the smartest baseball men I've ever been around. A lot of times you see Danny Espinoza with a great effort for that ball. When you don't know the opposition, you're a veteran guy, you kind of feel like you're flying in the fog. You got to rely on your instruments. You got to rely on the scouting report. And Livan Hernandez, it might take him a couple times around the lineup to figure out these swings and to read some swings tonight of the opposition.
All of Lito's wins have come here at Nationals Park, all 4 of them this year. And he gets ahead in the count to Dustin Ackley. Has a 3-game streak going since been called up from Tacoma, AAA Tacoma last week. Got a base hit, a triple, a home run, and 11 at-bats. Down to between first and second, another base hit. Worth, will he have a play at the plate? Fires home, and not in time. Seattle with a 2-0 lead. So it's Seattle with their 4th hit of the inning. Ichiro, Kennedy, Smoke, and now Ackley.
And look at the pitch from Livan. Another one out over the plate. Pretty good location down and away. Good throw from Jason Worth right here, too. Check it out. One hopper. And Wilson Ramos can't handle the ball. We've seen him do that a lot this year. Get a hop, drop it. So hits all over the place early for the Mariners.
That'll bring up Carlos Piguero, the left fielder for the Mariners. He comes in tonight hitting .208. So Seattle with runners on the corners and only 1 down and 2 in.
And there have been a few starts this year where Livan Hernandez has struggled early. And one thing I always talk about with Livan is weathering the storm, righting the ship. Nobody better. So he's a ground ball away from getting out of this.
And Piguero with a count of 1-0. It's a soft fly down behind third base. Zimmerman's got a beat on it, takes it in foul territory. And quickly Hernandez came back and got him in third.
Unbelievable.
Justin Smoke was not aware that Livan was coming right behind him. Heck of a play from Zimmerman. That retires the side, but not before Seattle gets a 2-0 lead.
early runs for the M's. Let's check out that play to end the first inning. Ryan Zimmerman going back very alertly, throwing it to Livan Hernandez, and he throws a strike. Livan Hernandez there in time. If we watch the replay a couple times during the break, if Livan Hernandez's foot is on the bag, and that's what we can't tell, the throw beats him. It's not a tag play, it's a force out. Because he's off the base, Zimmerman caught the ball in the air, so the ball beat him to the bag. Now, I don't know what Ron Culpa saw, if he could tell if Livan Hernandez's foot was on the bag, but the throw beat him, and you know what, folks? It can't be that close, so I like the call.
How about a heads-up play by Ryan Zimmerman, too? The National starting lineup packaged by the UPS store. We love logistics. Jason Worth leading off tonight. He'll be in right field, and Roger Bernardina, that number 2 hole. Then comes Ryan Zimmerman at third. Lance Nixon, the cleanup spot in left field. Michael Morris will hit fifth. Danny Espinoza, Wilson Ramos catching Livan Hernandez tonight. Levo on that number 8 spot. And then the shortstop, Ian Desmond.
We're going to check out the numbers on Doug Fister for the Mariners. Last time out, allowed 4 runs in the first inning of what eventually became a 4-0 loss to the Angels. He bounced back with 6 scoreless after that 4-run first. Eric Wedge, his manager, called it his best 6 innings of the season. So from Fister, 2-seam fastball, slider, curveball, change. He's a command control guy, really gets on top of his pitches, has a good tempo, works very, very fast. And is that Justin Worth in the batter's box? Jason's younger brother? Who is that?
He is sans the beard. Looks like a different guy, doesn't he?
Yeah, I don't even know if he has a younger brother, but that does not look like Jason Worth, and I like it. I told him earlier, it's a good look for you.
As our cameras zoom in on the former Jason Worth.
It's Justin.
And he pops one to right field for a base hit. Well, he feels lighter tonight, a little bit lighter, huh?
A little more aerodynamic,
yeah.
And the new Jason Worth is hitting 1,000.
And Worth with a base hit. And we'll take a look at the Seattle defense tonight.
Picaro, Gutierrez, and Ichiro in the outfield. Ryan and Kennedy on the left side. Ackley and Smoke on the right side. And Chris Jimenez doing the catching.
And this guy on the mound is 6'8", 210 pounds. 26 years old from Merced, California. 15th start for Fister. And trying to snap a 3-game, 3-start losing streak. Lost to Tampa Bay, lost to the Tigers, and lost to the Angels. He's had almost zero run support, FP. They just don't score any runs for him. Roger Bernardina with a fly to left. That thing is caught. What a tremendous catch by Carlos Piguero. And Worth has to hustle back to first. Didn't get all that one, did he?
A good swing by Bernardina. He got all of that. And a very warm night here in Washington. The ball's definitely carrying. We watched batting practice today. A lot of home runs. Great play by Piguero. You know, you go back as an outfielder. You feel the dirt under your cleats. You know the fence is approaching fast. And you see what Jason Worth did right there for you kids at home. Once you go past the bag, the outfielder catches the ball. You got to retouch the base on the way back or you're out. Nice job of base running.
Now Ryan Zimmerman steps in for the first time tonight to face Fister. Missed 58 games with that left abdominal tear. 7 for 28 since he came back to the ball club. And then Ryan just a tad over 300, 304, 8 ribbies, and a couple of home runs. And nice to have him back with his team.
You know, when I said, you know, Livan's 1 pitch away from ending the inning, I didn't think it would end like that, but nice heads-up play by Ryan Zimmerman.
Yeah.
Even better play by Livan Hernandez being at third base. You know, talk about a baseball player being in the right spot. If you're standing on the mound watching, you're probably doing something wrong.
That's the veteran. The bat goes to short, the ball to second. This could be 2. And it is. Zimmerman hits into a double play. We have played 1 at Nationals Park. The Mariners with a 2-0 lead. night against the Mariners. Nationals.com/for ticket information while supplies last. You better not miss this one. Dollar Dog Night coming up tomorrow night. First pitch at 7:05. We go to the top of the second. Seattle with a 2-0 lead. 4 base hits for the Mariners and 1 for the Nationals. Pfister 7 pitches, 6 strikes in that first inning. Franklin Gutierrez, Chris Jimenez, and Doug Pfister will face Livan Hernandez. He is 1-2 in his career against Seattle with an ERA of 2.82. Rounder pass, Desmond at short, base hit for Gutierrez to lead off the second inning. That is hit number 5. And that'll bring up the Mariners' third baseman, Chris Jimenez. I beg your pardon, the Mariners' catcher, Chris Jimenez. He had a game-tying RBI single at Detroit. One of his key hits. He's never faced Livan before. And Morse will try to hold Gutierrez at first. And there for a called strike. And the 0-1. And a shot to left center. Bernardino can get this one. And there's one down.
Let's go back to that first inning play with Ryan Zimmerman, Livan Hernandez one more time. We got a bunch of different angles coming in. All the votes are coming in from the West Coast. And we're going to check it out one more time. Look at this. So he's tagging up at third. Did he leave early? Because if he left early, then it's a force out. If he didn't leave early, then Livan Hernandez had to tag him. And if it was a tag play, the Nationals definitely caught a break, and we'll just leave it at that and move on.
Yes, don't try to dissect it, right?
Yeah. We are breaking down that play for you, folks, like no other.
Yeah. And Pfister lays down a bunt, a good bunt, and he sacrifices Gutierrez down to second successfully. So Pfister retired. There's 2 down. And we go back to the top of the M's lineup with Ichiro stepping in for the second time. Single back in the first.
I remember back in 2001 playing second base for the Oakland A's, and whenever Ichiro would come up and we were playing the Mariners as a second baseman back in the day when he first got here, you had to cheat up with nobody on, almost double play depth because of the speed of Ichiro. Yeah. The way he runs out of the batter's box and swings at the same time as a second baseman, you had to cheat up 4 or 5 steps on the dirt. Because if he just hit a routine ground ball to you at second base, he would beat it out.
Base hit.
There's not too many left-handers in baseball that can beat out a routine ground ball to second base. But that was, Ichiro 10 years ago. When he first came up, he had the cannon in right field, tremendous speed out of the batter's box. He still can run. I'm talking to some Seattle people. Maybe his skills aren't the same in right field as they once were. But, folks, you're getting to watch one of the greatest hitters of all time right now. A guy a lot like Livan Hernandez.
And one of the great stolen base guys in baseball, too. Got to hurry for Desmond. Got him. And so Hernandez gets out of a mild jam, and we go to the bottom of the second. Seattle with a 2-0 lead. Nationals Park, our PNC Minor League report. Solutions that help you achieve your financial goals. PNC, for the achiever in you. How about Bryce Harper at Hagerstown? .330 batting average. He's hit 14 home runs, driven in 45, scored 44, and a slugging percentage of .586.
Wow. He will have a nice all-star break, I'm calling.
Are those reminiscent of FP Santangelo numbers?
Yep, over about a 4-year span. When you added all my averages together, all my home runs, and all my RBIs.
No Lance Nix, Michael Morris, and Danny Espinosa go after Doug Fister. Only 2 guys in this ball club have faced Fister before, and that's Jerry Hairston Jr. and Pudge Rodriguez. Mariners with a 2-0 lead. Here in the bottom of the second. Nats have 1 base hit. Jason Worth leadoff. Bottom of the first base hit. And Fister, pretty good cutter for this guy too, huh, FP?
Yeah, he's got all kinds of good pitches: sinker, slider, curveball, change. Yeah, very control command guy. Not going to overpower you, not going to wow you to death, but just a good pro that pounds the strike zone.
Next with a fly ball to left. The Garrel should have this one easily. And there's 1 down. Call Luna today for up to 70% off all flooring. 877-241 Luna. Shop smart and shop Luna. Ryan Langerhans and Michael Morse. That was the deal that brought Michael here June 28, 2009. 194 games for Morse, 117 for Langerhans. I think the Nationals got the better deal.
Yeah, you know how Michael Morse pats himself on his helmet when he hits a home run? Mike Rizzo should be patting himself on the head for that trade.
And Michael with a swing and a foul down the third baseline. Last 26 games for Michael. 11 homers, 32 driven in. Drafted by the White Sox as a shortstop. And never really fit into the Seattle plans. And they dealt him here to Washington.
No, he was at the Mariners. He couldn't pull the baseball. Everything he hit was to the other side. Opposite field guy. When he did run into him, it was the other way. Especially this year, Rick Eckstein's been working with him on pulling the baseball. You see where his hands are, the position they're in.
Yep.
And that's enabled him to get to the inside pitch. And he's just matured, more at-bats at this level. All of a sudden he's relaxed and feeling like he's a part of it.
Last year with those home runs he hit, had he had enough at-bats, would have been among the tops in Major League Baseball. Grounded to third, and Kennedy across the diamond gets him. And there's 2 down. And the switch hitting Danny Espinosa comes up for the first time.
And a good play by Kennedy right here, going to his left, little spin move, pick up your target. Always been a sidearm guy. Second base, shortstop, third. The guy that likes to throw from down under. You see the throw right there, just enough to get there.
FP's got a good shot for the All-Star team, doesn't he?
Michael Morse, absolutely. You look at his numbers, 309, 13, and 43. He's been the talk of baseball. He's on every highlight show. And the guy in the box right now, if he get his average up and make a little run here, he's got a chance as well.
Tops among Major League rookies. The numbers possessed by Espinosa. 13 homers, 43 driven in. He and Michael have the most in the ball club in that category. 29 extra base hits. And he is 12 for 27 on this homestand. And Fister ahead in the count. 1-2. When you were facing a guy as big as this, FP, 6'7" or 6'8", did you have to change your approach in that box?
Not really. A lot of times with taller guys, it just comes from a different part with the backdrop. And all Major League parks, you have a good batting eye to see the baseball out of. But generally speaking, usually taller guys feel like they're closer to you. Feel like they're letting go of the ball closer to you. You see the view right there. In minor league ballparks, tall pitchers can pitch out of a sign. They can pitch over the fence. But in big league ballparks, you see the backdrop right there. You see the ball big.
Espinosa strikes out. It's a 1-2-3 second for Doug Fister as we go to the top of the third at Nationals Park. Seattle with a 2-0 lead. To the top of the third here at Nationals Park. Coming up, the midseason flex plan. You got to take advantage of this. You can pick 3 games, get a 4th one free, and a new error cap. Expect flexibility with our new midseason flex plan. Simply go to nationals.com/flex. Johnny Holiday, along with the guy that played left, center, designated hitter, played every defensive position. Did you ever pitch?
I did not. I think I pitched 1 inning my senior year, faced 9 hitters, did not get an out, and that was it for me as a pitcher. I could hit a lot of barrels. I had that part covered.
A quick retirement?
Yeah.
From the mound? Hernandez delivers to Brendan Ryan. Ryan, first time around, grounded out to first. Michael Morse. We're in the top of the third, and Hernandez, wasting no time, delivers to Ryan, pops it back. Up behind home plate, foul. Mariners are 4-8 all time against this franchise. 4-5 out in Seattle. They've only come here one other time. They were swept back in 2005 over at RFK Stadium. That's trouble if it's fair. It is off the wall. Nice play by Lance Nix. Fires into second to Espinoza. And Ryan with a stand-up double to start the third.
Yeah, another hard hit ball off Livan Hernandez. Second time around the order. I was going to see who's making the adjustments, the hitters or Livan. You talk about facing a guy for your first time, facing a team for your first time. The second time around the order usually tells the tale, and Brendan Ryan with a leadoff double. So far, advantage Mariners.
Levo outstanding last Wednesday against the Cardinals, snapping a little streak. We hadn't won a ball game since way back in April against the Mets. 4-3. And when he is on, that it's interesting. There's one of the best hitting teams in baseball, St. Louis. Couldn't get to him. And this ball club hitting what as a team? 229.
But Johnny, he knew all the Cardinals hitters.
He doesn't know these guys.
Guys he's faced his whole life. Guys that he's reading swings on the dugout for, you know, a couple of games before the last time they played him, doing his homework. He's flying blind tonight, and that's just kind of the way it goes in interleague play. It's not an excuse. He has to find a way to make the adjustments, read swings. I'm sure he knows a lot about Adam Kennedy, but the other guys, you know, probably doesn't have a real good feel for.
Yeah. Kennedy has a hit and an RBI in the first inning. Grounded to second. Espinoza has one play. That's the first, and there's one away. And down to third goes Ryan. And Justin Smoke, the first baseman for Seattle, steps in. And this guy's been hitting the hide off the ball.
When you're the Mariners and you're hitting 240 as a team, it's all about situational hitting. Nice job, Adam Kennedy, rolling over this pitch. You got a runner on second base, nobody out. He's trying to get him over to third with 1 out, so he takes a sinker away from Livan Hernandez. His reach out there, rolls his wrist over, and gets the runner over. That's a great piece of hitting. And when you're not an offensive ball club, you have to do all the little things, and Adam Kennedy just did.
Adam moves the runner up. Smoke steps in. Ackley will be next. Already Livan has thrown 34 pitches. 23 of those strikes, and we're in the third inning. And Seattle's tagging for 6 base hits. Which is low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, this might be a pitch around piece for Livan Hernandez. Got the young Ackley on deck. You got a veteran guy like Smoke that, you know, has 40 RBIs on the season, 12 home runs. I don't know that Livan Hernandez wants anything to do right now with Justin Smoke.
And Ackley just called up from AAA Tacoma. Hernandez with a check. And the runner. And he misses 3-0. That's one of Lon's strong points, is the fact that he's got great control. Didn't walk anybody against the Cardinals, only walked 1 his previous start against San Diego. And still able to get 5 and 6 strikeouts a game. Nice tantalizing breaking ball, but didn't break in enough. And Smoke with a base on ball.
Yeah, that was an intentional from Livan Hernandez. I mean, he was walking Justin Smoke all the way. If you want to bite on his pitches, go ahead. But he wants to face Dustin Ackley. There's no doubt about it. And the art of pitching, Johnny, is being able to throw strikes when you want to, but it's also being able to throw balls when you want to. And I think nobody better than Livan Hernandez of trying to tease the strike zone and get guys to get themselves out.
That sets up a potential inning-ending double play. On to the Morris. The second for one. No play at first and a run scores. So Ackley gets an RBI. And it's 3-0 Seattle.
Nice play, Michael Morris.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Look at this play right there. Stepping a dive from his knee, throws a seed right on the money to Ian Desmond. And Desmond has no chance. Livan Hernandez late getting over there. So give half an RBI to Ackley and give half an RBI to Adam Kennedy for getting the runner over to third base.
Almost got caught like a no man's land there, didn't they, FP? Not too much you can do about that.
Yeah, the 1-6-3 here, the 3-6-1 double play is the toughest one to turn, and you saw right there.
And the Mariners have a 3-0 lead. And a shot down the first base line is foul. Carlos Peguero up for the second time.
And Johnny, Bob and I talk about it a lot during the broadcast. How many times do you see a guy that has a complete game shutout the last time, leaves it all out there, throws 105 pitches, whether it's Livan Hernandez or whoever, and comes back out the next time and struggles?
Yeah, right. And a swing and a miss. Franklin Gutierrez.
And not to say that Livan Hernandez is really struggling right now, but he doesn't have his sharp stuff like he had last time. It's not about the speed gun, the radar gun, the velocity. And if you look at the movement on his pitches, the location of his pitches, nothing like last time out against St. Louis.
Peguero hit into a double play. Back in the first, a throw back to Michael Morris, and he's back in safely. Ackley at first. A runner is in, and we've got two down. Seattle with 6 base hits, 3 runs and 6 hits. The Nationals 1-0. The only base hit from Jason Worth to lead off the bottom of the first. And Peguero ahead in the count, behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. First time he's ever faced Livan Hernandez. And that recently completed Seattle home series, not a good one for Peguero, only 2 for 15.
59 on the curveball from Livan Hernandez. Let's check it out again. We always look for the curveball under 60. Check this one out. 59 miles an hour.
And he would probably argue and say, wasn't it 62?
He'd probably say, I should have thrown that for a strike.
Count is even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Seattle a game behind Texas in the American League West. In fact, the next 2 opponents, Chicago and the Angels, also very much in contention. Peguero steps out. Nationals trying to start a brand new winning streak tonight. And he got it. So the inning is over, but Seattle pushes across 1 more. They take a 3-0 lead to the bottom of the 3rd. Johnny Holiday and FP didn't recognize her. FP Santangelo, Commuter Connections. Nationals' upcoming schedule will get you home guaranteed. Right back at the ballpark tomorrow night against Seattle, game 2 of 3. Then Thursday afternoon before the club heads out to Chicago for a weekend series against the White Sox. Then to Los Angeles and a series against the Angels. And so far the Nats only able to solve Doug Fister for one base hit. Jason Worth's leadoff single in the first. Ramos, Livan Hernandez, and Desmond will face him here in the third inning. Nationals 19-13 at home this year. And had that 8-game winning streak snapped on Sunday at the hands of the Orioles. Trying to start another one tonight. Seattle coming fresh off a win against Philadelphia Sunday. They shut them out 2-0. They've won 20 of their last 31 games. And Ramos takes a strike. Shot back up the middle and got him barely by a step at first. Broken bat, almost went right past, but it did go right past Fister. And there's one down.
Yeah, another maple bat fracture. And that one went flying. Check this out. It's only a matter of time before somebody really gets hurt. You look at the bat helicoptering right there. And the best thing that happened to Doug Fister is that he fell down.
How about the Cardinal game last week? And Livan almost had his ankle taken off where the bat came right back at him.
Yeah, something about those maple bats. The wood is so dense when they finally do fracture. They go a long way. They fly, pretty hard, pretty far. With the ash bats, they just kind of break and they're still in your hand. And if they go anywhere, it's just usually around the plate. The maple bats, when they fracture, and they're weapons.
Hernandez steps in with a 167 batting average, 4 RBIs. And Fister delivers 0-1. And Levo fouls it off to the left. Head the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Fister having lost his last 3 starts, but going all the way back to May 7th, every game he has started, he's gone at least 6, mostly 7 and 8 innings. And he's ahead in the count to Hernandez, 1-2. And a fly ball to right. Ichiro's got it. And there's 2 down. Eddie and Desmond will step in. Our game flow brought to you by Corona, who invites you to find your beach.
We watched batting practice today, and Ian Desmond put on a display. He's out for early hitting, and then his batting practice. I know it's 5 o'clock, and now it's almost 8 o'clock. It's a different story. It's not a batting practice pitcher, but he had a fantastic BP today. He was launching balls left after right in the left field bleachers.
Well, he's got 21 RBIs, 3 homers. Got some pop, hasn't he?
He does.
Yeah. And as his defense improved from last year, FP. Fly to left field, drifting back is Piguero, and he'll give room to Gutierrez, who makes the catch. And the Nationals retired 1-2-3 in the third. We go to the top of the fourth. Does that look good? The scoreboard does not. 3 runs. Dustin Ackley, the rookie, just called up from Tacoma, has a 1-for-2 ball game going for him with a couple of RBIs. Doug Fister outstanding at the mound. He's only thrown 29 pitches. Let's go back and see when Seattle scored their 2 in the first.
Yeah, there's Ichiro right there. Career hit number 23-27. He starts it all up, and Adam Kennedy with a little bloop single into right center scores Ichiro. And after a leadoff double from Brendan Ryan, he scores on the Dustin Ackley single. Adam Kennedy scores, so it's 2-0.
Yeah, they tagged on one more in the third to make it a 3-0 lead. And Lebo delivers. Diaz followed by Jimenez and Fister here in the Seattle 4th inning. Nitro's got himself a 9-game hitting streak going already. Well, that hit in the first inning. A shot up the middle. That is base hit number 7. And Gutierrez leads off to start the 4th inning with a base knock.
Well, this is one of those games where Livan Hernandez is going to have to fight to keep his team in the game. You know, you never know what you're going to get every 5th day as a starting pitcher. Yeah. Last time he had his A game. Today, not so much, but these are the games when, you know, you show everybody what you're made of. You don't have your good stuff. How many times have we seen Jason Marquis this year when he doesn't have his good stuff go out there and fight and give you 5 or 6 innings? And we've seen it from Livan Hernandez as well. So he's going to have to find a way to right the ship right there and keep it at 3 and give his team a chance to win this ball game.
Yeah, the Mariners catcher Chris Jimenez will face Hernandez for the 2nd time. Flew out to center. And Bernardino back in the 2nd. And there's nobody up in the Nationals bullpen. Levo allowed the Cardinals 3 hits in a complete game last Wednesday. And he's falling behind the count, 2 balls and no strikes. We're talking about Desmond's defense before we went to break. Major improvement from last year, huh?
Major improvement from last year and major improvement from April. I think when he came up this year or started the season this year, really pressing, maybe trying too hard, then all of a sudden, you know, he turned the corner, relaxed. You're seeing the true athletic ability take over on a nightly basis, and those 2 young guys up the middle have been more than fun to watch. And we're watching them get better every single game, and I think, you know, as a Nationals fan, you turn on the TV every night, those 2 guys are the highlight. You look at those guys up the middle, you're getting to watch them get better every single day.
And a couple of young guys, the numbers for Danny Espinosa, 5 errors, 44 double plays, 317 chances for Danny, a fielding percentage of .984. The count is 3-1 now to Jimenez. And a call strike. 49 pitches for Levo so far in this ball game. And 31 strikes.
Yeah, we always talk about with Livan Hernandez, it's not so much strikes, it's quality of strike. It's the guy that shaves the strike zone like a Thanksgiving Day turkey when he's on. He's a guy that can't afford to throw the ball right down the middle, get a lot of white. He's got to live on the corners, change speeds, keep guys off balance.
And nobody out, and there goes the runner. Throw to second, and he's safe. Franklin Gutierrez steals second base.
A good throw from Wilson Ramos. And once again, Danny Espinosa on the back side of the base. You know, very rarely do you see a second baseman on a steal take the throw on this side of the bag. And usually you hustle over there and get in front, maybe even straddle the base. It's a lot quicker. But watch where Espinosa takes this throw. Behind the base right there, and that allows Gutierrez to get his foot in. Very close, but a great throw from Wilson Ramos.
And Levo with his 2nd strikeout of the night. That'll bring up Doug Fister hitting from the left side, the big 6'8", 210-pound right-hander. Nice tantalizing breaking ball in there for a strike. No balls in a strike to Fister. With Gutierrez down at second base. And the 0-1. Misses outside.
Johnny, I played a lot of second base, and it's hard to get there for a steal. You have to hold your ground, especially on a 3-2 count. You have to stand pat. What do I mean by that? You can't give up range and just take off and cover the base. So it was always a battle for me to get into a position to where I could be in a spot to field a ground ball. Then at the last second,
almost got him.
Come over and cover for the steal. Ian Desmond sneaking in there, and that was close. Let's check it out one more time. Daylight play right here. Ian Desmond sneaking in. If Livan Hernandez sees Ian Desmond between the runner and the base, it's up to him to spin and throw. Great move by Livan. Great tag by Ian Desmond. They just didn't get the call.
Gutierrez with his second stolen base of the year for Seattle. And Hernandez now ahead of the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Pfister.
So back to my story, as a second baseman, you have to be able to hold your ground as long as possible until the ball is through the hitting zone. And then when the ball is through the hitting zone and you see it's not in play, then you break for the base. So in Danny Espinosa's defense, that's one thing I struggled with at second base, was getting into position deep enough where I could still get to the bag for a steal. And a lot of times you want to cheat in so that you can get to the bag on a steal, especially if you have a catcher like Wilson Ramos or Pudge Rodriguez that can really throw. You want to be able to get there in time, but in doing that, now you're giving up range.
Right.
So if the guy puts the ball in play, you're not going to get to as many balls. So it's a trade-off for Danny Espinosa. He plays very deep, and as fast as he is, sometimes it's tough for him to get all the way over in the steal, and that's why he takes the throw behind the base many times.
And boy, we have seen the last 5, 6, 7 games some spectacular plays from both Danny and Ian defensively. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Pfister. 1 down here in the 4th. And Hernandez trying to work himself out of trouble again. Gutierrez down at second. And the 2-2. Just outside for ball 3.
Yeah, I think this at-bat right here is Livan Hernandez in a nutshell for tonight. You got an American League pitcher up there hitting 9th, and he's firing a lot of bullets. And making him battle.
Get a sacrifice bunt back to Levo, his first time up in the 2nd. And the count is full. And he swings and fouls it back.
So a good at-bat from a pitcher that usually doesn't hit. No matter what happens here, he's made Livan Hernandez work.
And I would imagine all these guys, when they get to interleague play that don't hit, they want to get up there. They want to show everybody what they can do.
Maybe some guys.
Or attempt to do.
There's been a few swings where I'm sure they're not real crazy about hitting in front of 20 or 30,000 fans and being on TV.
Hernandez steps off the mound. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. In the top of the 4th there in Washington, Johnny Holiday, FP Santangelo. With you on Masson, and Bob Carpenter taking a couple of days off. He'll be back with you on Friday night in that first of a series against the White Sox. Pfister with a base hit to right field. Gutierrez will try to score. The throw to Ramos, not in time, and Seattle has a 4-0 lead.
And that's his first major league hit. And he's going to want that baseball. An RBI single off Livan Hernandez. There's the ball right there. So it was already a good at-bat for Doug Pfister because he made Livan Hernandez work so hard. And then he finishes it with a knock. 3-2 curveball right out over the plate. Smacks it into right field. Mariners are up 4-0.
Now we've got some activity in the Nationals bullpen. As Suzuki steps in. Ichiro 1 for 2 in the ball game. With Pfister at first. And Levo misses outside for a ball. Pfister, his first base hit. Ryan Matthews up and loosening in the Nationals bullpen. He's made 2 appearances thus far this year. He has yet to be scored upon.
And this is a good trip from Steve McCadden. Go out there, slow things down a little bit, get your bullpen right, get everybody loose out there. Because this is just one of those nights for Livan Hernandez.
That's a good way to put it, FP. One of those nights you're going to have, aren't you?
It's baseball. We talked about it on Sunday against the Orioles. The Nats have been playing so good, and all of a sudden they make 3 errors. They're kicking the ball around. But when you play 162 games and you play every single day, that's just kind of how it goes. You're going to have games like that.
Well, Steve McCaddy has had his visit to the mound. Let's see the AT&T and trivia fact number 1. Ichiro has recorded 10 consecutive 200-hit seasons. That's a Major League Baseball record.
Really? That's unbelievable.
I was going back to your bio with the Expos, the Giants, the Dodgers, the A's. I think he might have just edged you out.
I'll tell you what, Johnny, I don't know how he does it. Probably the best hand-eye coordination I've ever seen. I mean, how do you run out of the batter's box, move all over the place like he does, and be able to square up a baseball? I mean, it's hard enough to hit it when you're perfectly still. Everybody talks about, frozen head at the plate. Keep your head still. This guy's all over the place, and he continues to put the ball in play and hit it hard. It's almost like he can slow the game down. Look where the hole is. And I see the shortstop playing up the middle. I'm going to hit it over there.
Bouncing ball to Espinoza. To Desmond. To Morris. Got it. Double play. And that ends the inning. Pretty double play pulled off, but Seattle gets one more. As we head to the bottom of the 4th, it's 4-0 Mariners. Acid is brought to you by Verizon 4G LTE. Verizon 4G LTE, built so you can rule the air. And by Mitsubishi Electric Cooling and Heating. To find a Mitsubishi Electric Cooling and Heating dealer near you, visit MitsubishiComfort.com. We go to the bottom of the 4th. The Nats need some offense, FP. 1 base hit so far.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, you got to make the adjustments. You've seen him second time around. What adjustments are you going to make offensively to a guy that you haven't seen before?
Well, here they come. One of these days, we're going to have an upset in this Geico President's race.
Wow.
That's 1 down. Come on, Abe.
Teddy just doesn't even care anymore.
He doesn't know. He doesn't care. No. He's phoning it in now.
Losing is a disease, Teddy.
Nationals have had 1 base runner. That was Jason Worth. And Pfister has faced 1 over the limit through 3. Seattle with 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd, and 1 more in the 4th. Got a 4-0 lead. And back to the top of the Nationals order. Now what do you think Jason shaved off?
He's trying to change things up. Going for a new look. Baseball players are superstitious.
Bouncing ball to short. Brendan Ryan across. There's smoke and there's 1 down. Do you have any superstitions when you're playing?
I did. If I was in the first base dugout, I always ran and touched first base on the way out to defense, and coming in wherever I was playing, even if it was third base, I'd run all the way over and touch first base. And consequently, if I was in the third base dugout, I'd run out and touch third base on the way out. No matter where I was playing, on the way in, touch third base.
Always worked?
Every single inning, my whole career. I don't know if it worked. It's just something that I did.
Who was the guy that drafted you back in '89 with the Expos? Remember the scout that?
It was Nickel Beer Night.
That's good.
He came to watch me play and said, I like that guy. It's Pat Doherty, the Montreal Expos. Okay. Drafted me in the 20th round. Was in Omaha, Nebraska in the College World Series, as that's going on right now. And for about a week, we were calling each other in the rooms and joking with each other, saying, oh, this is so-and-so from the Pittsburgh Pirates. You've been drafted in the 20th round. And guys are teammates are saying, really? Oh, that's great. And no, it's me. So when Pat Doherty called me, I thought it was one of my teammates. I dropped a few choice words on him. And it turned out to be the real scout that drafted me.
Real nice. 3 balls and a strike to Roger Bernardino.
I thought it was one of my teammates playing a joke on me, and I told him where he could go, thinking it was one of my teammates.
And it wasn't.
It was the scout that drafted me.
Bouncing ball that Pfister lets go foul.
He said, excuse me? And as soon as he said, excuse me, I knew that it was the real deal and not one of my boys playing a trick on me in the hotel.
Well, you talk about a guy that's had a good homestand. That's Bernardino, 11 for 24. 4 runs. He's hit 3 homers, 6 driven in, double stolen bases. Started now 30 of the last 40 games in center field. And a check swing that went through, and Bernardino's gone. Well, Debbie's back with us, and she's down in the field. Debbie, great to have you back.
Oh, thanks, Johnny. This is the first time the Nats have faced the Mariners since visiting Seattle in '08, and I asked Ryan Zimmerman, how challenging is it to face a team you're not familiar with? How do you prepare?
Yeah, video, obviously, but it's harder to play the teams that you don't play as much. You're not as familiar with the pitching and familiar with their players. But, our coaches do a good job of giving us scouting reports and kind of letting us know who does what. And but it's definitely a little bit tough.
Well, the Nats have won 6 straight against the Mariners. That's their longest active winning streak against another ball club, Johnny.
Thank you, Debbie. First meeting since 2008 between these 2 ball clubs. Ryan with a hit into a double play his first time up. What the Nationals need now is just get base runners on. As Pfister's been on top of his game. Most impressive performance of the season for this guy. 1 ball and a strike, 2 away here in the 4th inning. And a foul out of play behind home plate. Talking to Ryan around the batting cage on, I guess it was Saturday, FP. I thought they did laparoscopic when they did that abdominal operation. He said they actually cut him. And I was amazed he can come back this quickly.
Yeah, I mean,
when he came back, he bounced back in a hurry.
He worked very hard to get here.
Yep.
He's still working on things right now. We saw him down in the cage today working on his throwing. He's trying to get in the right throwing position.
And that has been changed, hasn't it, a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, but to see a guy like him in the cage.
Bouncer, this could be trouble. Pfister off the mound. Base hit for Zimmerman.
And he'll take it. And the Nats will take it any way they can right now. Just get some base runners on there. We got the dangerous Lance Nix coming up. Instant offense. So nice job with 2 strikes. Ryan Zimmerman. We always talk about putting the ball in play with 2 and good things happen. You put the ball in play with 2 strikes, get yourself a knock. But getting back to Zimmerman today, he's in the cage at 2:30 working on his throwing mechanics. I mean, he's getting to a power position. He's throwing balls off the screen. I'm in there hitting with my son, and I can't believe that I'm seeing a guy of this stature, an all-star, Gold Glover. He's in the cage working on his throwing, working on his technique, working on getting better.
Right.
I mean, this is a guy that doesn't have to do that, but it just goes to show you how bad he wants to be great, that he's in the cage by himself, getting instructed, working on things at 2:30, and he's been working on the technique, the proper form. the proper position to get into with his elbows, into a power position, so that when he throws the ball across to first base, he's got his arm in the right slot. And it's because of that operation and that surgery to where maybe that's the thing that's the weakest now coming back. Or maybe he got some bad habits before. And he's trying to get rid of those habits. But when you talk about work ethic, and we talk about it all the time up here, there's a reason why these guys are so great. They just don't show up at 6:45, put their unis on, and play a baseball game.
You're talking 2:30 in the afternoon, weren't you? Yeah.
In the cage.
2 balls and no strikes to Lance Nix. Fly to left field his first time up. Bouncer foul down the first base line.
And he's working with minor league infielding coordinator Jeff Garber. So they're down there together. They're working on things.
Met Jeff's mom and dad on, I guess it was Sunday. They came out to the ball game and stopped out and visited with Ray and I. 2 balls and a strike to Nix. Zimmerman at first, and there's 2 down here in the 4th inning. Swinging a shot to center. Drifting back is Gutierrez, and the inning is over. Nix a high fly ball, and that's all. We have played 4 at Nationals Park. 4-0 Mariners. Score, though, 4-0 Seattle here at Nats Park. Happy to have you with us, Johnny Holiday, FP Santangelo. We don't see Seattle that much because of interleague play. You got to be impressed with this guy Pfister out there.
He's faced the minimum, Johnny. So, yeah.
I'm looking at that, yes.
Cy Pfister's got it going on a little bit. So maybe make some adjustments the second time around. It's a hot-hitting ball club, the Nationals, but so far not so good tonight offensively.
Nationals trying to start themselves a brand-new streak tonight at the expense of Seattle, and so far Pfister's been awfully difficult to solve in this game. So Hernandez goes back out for the top of the 5th. He will face Brendan Ryan, who had a double his last time up and scored. Levon with 64 pitches in this game so far. No balls and a strike for the Mariners shortstop. And a shot between first and second. Ryan has his second base hit. And Worth bobbles it momentarily, throws to second, and Ryan takes second. So Brendan Ryan takes a single and winds up at second base.
No need to really barehand that ball by Jason Worth. I mean, you barehand the ball when you're in a hurry, you're in a rush. Ryan had a single right there. For some reason, Jason Worth didn't want to use his glove. Ryan on second base, nobody out.
And Worth is charged with an error on that play. That's the Nationals' first in this ball game. They had played errorless ball 16 consecutive games before Sunday, and they committed 3. So Adam Kennedy, RBI single, scored a run in the first, ground out to second, back in the third. And Ballister, or that's Matthews out there loosening up in the Nationals bullpen. Up for the second time. A little tantalizing breaking ball at 67. And it's 1-1.
And Kennedy in the same situation he was in the third inning. And Brendan Ryan with a leadoff double. Nobody out. Went up there, did a nice job of rolling over. But if you look where Danny Espinosa's playing right now, he's trying to cut down Brendan Ryan at third. Look where he's playing. He's cheating in at second base.
Well, Kennedy against Hernandez, career-wise, he's got a base hit tonight. He is now 5 for 11 against him.
And that's almost infield in right there for Danny Espinosa. If he gets a one-hopper, guess what? He's throwing to Ryan Zimmerman at third base.
Base hit to right. That may score Ryan from. He's going to take third, heading for home, and the Mariners lead at 5-0. Kennedy with his second hit and his second RBI of the night.
So the error proves costly. An instant run for the Mariners. A nice piece of hitting by Adam Kennedy. He's a low ball hitter. He's got that loop in his swing. He takes the sinker, hits it to right. He was just trying to get him over. He got the bonus plan. Got him over, got him in. Nice job.
And 6 career hits against Livan Hernandez for Kennedy.
That might be it for Livan Hernandez. I say Jim Ruggeman on the top step right now. This might be a stall piece, and here he comes. Yeah, that's it.
So Levo can't get out of the 5th inning. And Kennedy, his responsibility at first. And the call to Ryan Matthews in the bullpen for the Nationals. Seattle with a 5-0 lead. We'll be back in a moment. If you haven't been out here recently, you got to come out to a ball game because the Shake Shack is now open at the Miller Lite Scoreboard Walk, one of the hottest locations in all of professional sports. There's some of the National fans out there enjoying a night at the Shake Shack. 3 additional restaurants: Blue Smoke, Box Fries, El Verano, Taquiera, a $5 happy hour beer specials, all available 2.5 hours before the scheduled first pitch at the Miller Lite Scoreboard Walk Bar for all remaining home games of the 2011 season. For tickets to any game, all you have to do is visit nationals.com/tickets. Ryan Matthews comes in out of the Nationals bullpen. He will make his 3rd appearance of his young professional career.
And a fastball slider split for Matthews. And so far, we've liked what we've seen. Good command, good control, unfazed by the major league atmosphere. Good stuff all the way around.
Hernandez leads, allowing 10 hits and the 5 runs. And Kennedy is his responsibility at first base. And those 10 hits, the most he's given up since the Philly game of May 3rd. He lost that one 4-1. He gave up the 10 hits in 6 1/3 innings. Tonight, he gives it up in 4 innings.
Just not sharp.
No, not sharp at all. And Matthews with a good fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Justin Smoke is telling himself right now, that looked like a million after facing Livan Hernandez. 95 on the black. Good pitch.
Smoke, the big hard hitting first baseman. Leads the Mariners in homers, leads the ball club in RBIs. He pops it up down the third baseline in foul territory. Zimmerman's got a beat on this one. And there's one out here in the 5th inning. So Smoke retired on a pop foul to Zimmerman. Dustin Ackley will come up for the 3rd time. He's 1 for 2. Ackley comes in the ball game tonight on a 3-game streak since being called up from Tacoma. And Matthews catches the outside corner of the plate for a strike. This guy's got some heat in his ball. That was 94.
And a good command too, Johnny. 2-seam fastball running away from the left-hander. And it's all about strike one. He's been working ahead the majority of the times he's been in games.
Matthews had his contract purchased from Syracuse back on the 10th of June. Made his major league debut against the Cardinals, one of the 3rd scoreless in that game. He was 2-1 with 6 saves at Syracuse and also Harrisburg. And the 1-1 pitch is low, and it's 2-1. Gave up a base hit against the Orioles on Friday night. It is 1 inning of work. And he wastes no time getting right back to Ackley.
Good pitch right there.
And it's 3-1. Nice breaking ball for a strike. Young guy was born in Galt, California.
Right down the street. Right down the street from my hometown, Sacramento. Yeah, just south of Sacramento. I attended Sacramento City College, the same junior college I went to.
He broke in with runner is going. Bouncer to second. Espinoza on the Morse. And there's 2 down. Broken professional ball in Casper in the rookie level Northwest League. Your traveling party never stopped there, did it?
Casper? No, I've never been to Casper.
Casper, Wyoming.
I've been to Cheyenne a couple times, never Casper.
No. 6'3", 215. And he's got 2 down here in the 5th inning. Mariners 5 with a shutout over the Nationals 5-0. And the Nationals thus far in this ball game just able to get 2 hits. One in the 1st from Worth and one in the 4th from Zimmerman. That's it. And a swing and a foul. Four for 8 runners in scoring position for Seattle. 0 for 0. Haven't had one for the Nats tonight.
Well, that's what Jim Riggleman says all the time when they ask him why his team isn't driving in runs. You left 10 guys out there. You left 12 guys out there tonight. Well, he says it's better to have them out there and not pick them up than not to have them out there at all. And I think tonight's a case of not having them out there at all.
That ball was fouled down the left field line. But this ball club has also shown time and time again they can bounce back just as quickly. Hitting's contagious, isn't it? Once it gets going, everybody gets going.
A lot of ball game left.
Oh, yeah. Oh-2 to Peguero. Foul down the left field line. Zimmerman's back, but Espinosa calling off. He'll take it, and that's the end of the inning. As we head to the bottom of the fifth at Nationals Park, let's see if Michael Morse can get things going. Followed by Espinosa and then Ramos. Looking for that elusive first run of the ball game. Let's go down to Debbie Taylor for just a moment. Visit AppSeo.org, the Association for IT Pros. And Debbie, Michael Morse and Ichiro go way back to their days in Seattle.
They sure do. In fact, Ichiro and his wife once threw Michael Morse a surprise birthday party during spring training. Michael said to me earlier today he learned a lot from his former teammate.
Ichiro's he's a good friend of mine, especially in the baseball world. The way he goes about his business every day, it doesn't matter how he's doing on the field. He doesn't change a thing, and his work ethic is just it's impeccable. It's unbelievable, and I learned a lot from him with my years in Seattle.
Now, this humidor where Michael Morse keeps his bats was actually a gift from Ichiro. And Michael told me that Ichiro told him every good hitter should have a humidor for his bats. And Michael added that was pretty cool.
All right, thank you, Debbie. Ichiro on the left and Michael Morse on the right. Michael hit 278 one year, 205 at Seattle, 372 in 06, 444 in 07. And now for the Nationals, his batting average, pretty solid. Coming in tonight, ball game hitting 309 with 13 home runs. And he is retired. And there's one down. Colin Ballister begins to loosen up out in the Nationals bullpen.
When we talk about that bat humidor, there's been a lot of studies. I was talking to people in Milwaukee when we were there. They keep all of their bats, the Brewers do, in a humidor. They try to keep the moisture in the wood. And they're doing studies now on how traveling affects the bats, being at altitude in an airplane, how that dries out the lumber. They keep their bats in humidors on the airplane. And so for Michael Morse right there, that was a great piece by Debbie Taylor. You're seeing what you do with your bat, how you take care of your bat. You're good to your bat, it's good to you. I've seen guys talk to their bat. I've seen guys take their bat home with them. Now I've seen guys with their bat in a humidor. And the Brewers, they swing their bats. They keep them in a humidor. And you think about it, Johnny, I mean, over a 6-month period, if those things dry out, with the heat, they're in the dugout, day game, they get dry, they break real easy. We just saw a bat fracture tonight and go flying. They're doing studies now about how the plane affects the bat, how the temperature in the clubhouse affects the bat.
Serious business, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, yeah. Espinosa grounded on the first baseline. It goes foul. Danny hitting 206 from the left side of the plate. Struck out back in the second. And the AT&T Trivia tonight. Fact number 1, Ichiro has recorded 10 consecutive 200-hit seasons. That's a Major League Baseball record. Also won 10 consecutive Gold Gloves. That ties an American League record.
All-around baseball player. I mean, he made that throw that he's famous for. I was there that night. Terrence Long trying to go to third base in Oakland. Trying to go first to third.
Espinosa hits a shot to right, drifting back. Ichiro makes the catch. Funny we're talking about him. He hauls it in for the out, and there's 2 down. Here's a guy that's going to be 38, 39 coming up in October. And still playing at a high level.
And playing at a very high level. The average probably not where he wants it to be. He probably looks at the scoreboard and sees 270 something and gets sick to his stomach. The guy's used to hitting 330, 340, 360.
Probably thinking to himself, there must be some mistake. Now there's 2 up and 2 down here in the Nationals' 5th. 5-0 Seattle. And Pfister just continues to work quickly and effectively. Has allowed Washington only 2 base hits. Count is even, 1-1 to Wilson Ramos. Bouncing ball to short. Another 1-2-3 inning for the Seattle tall right-hander. We go to the 6th. 5-0 Mariners over the Nationals. That dog you just gave me a few minutes ago, I could have had a dog tomorrow night for only $1. Dog night, $1 dog night tomorrow night. 7:05 first pitch against the Mariners. Go to nationals.com/tickets and you'll get more information. Better yet, just come to the ball game and see it.
Hot dogs, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think so.
You buy a dog for $1 tomorrow night? No, it's $1 hot dog night.
$1 hot dog night.
Go all Kobayashi tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. Well, Matthews heads that back out to the mound. Came in and put out the fire when he came in the 4th inning. We're on the top of the 6th now. And Matthews will face Franklin Gutierrez, Chris Jimenez, and Doug Pfister. Just a whole bunch of young national pitchers on the horizon. The bullpen's been outstanding this year. Anytime you ring the bell, Clippard getting it done. Drew Storen, Rodriguez, Matthews, Coffey, Ballister, Burnett.
Yeah, Henry Rodriguez has impressed me lately. He's been off some big innings. He's going out there late with a lead, getting the job done, going right after guys.
We were watching that gun the other night. He's up there like 90. He was over 97, 98.
He hit 101.
Bouncing ball to Zimmerman. Across the diamond, 1 down. Gutierrez retired.
Yeah, hard work pays off. We were talking about Ryan Zimmerman getting in the proper throwing position. It doesn't matter if it's sidearm or over the top. Watch him right there. Gets the proper throwing position. Very confident in that throw right there. Underhand. Right on the money. Nice job. And good pitch from Ryan Matthews, too. Little sinker on the hands. Got himself a broken bat.
What's his best pitch, in your opinion?
It's fastball.
Fastball.
Two-seam fastball, 94-95, good command.
Foul down the left field line, Jimenez. He's 0 for 2 in this ball game. Lined out to center, then struck out in the fourth. Fister on deck, got his first base hit, and RBI his last time up. Mariners 2 in the first and have scored in every inning except the second. Tonight's the first of 3 against Seattle. They'll be here again tomorrow night, then on Thursday afternoon. Then FP and the guys head off to Chicago for the White Sox series over the weekend. In Los Angeles against the Angels. Nice delivery by Matthews to Jimenez, and he's ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, did you see the downward movement?
Did.
The ball just disappeared.
Ramos with a sign, and they 1-2. Low in the dirt, it's 2-2. Nationals back home finally a week from Friday against Pittsburgh. That's a good homestand right there. Pirates come in, Cubs come in, and then the Rockies come in. Then the All-Star break. What you gonna do in the All-Star break?
No idea yet.
Zimmerman across the diamond to Morse. Nice stretch. And there's 2 down. Each row with a base hit. Brendan Ryan's got 2. Kennedy's got a pair. And Gutierrez has 2. Mariners have racked up 10 base hits in the ball game so far.
And Doug Fister with an RBI single, a sacrifice bunt. He's having a big night on the mound, and maybe even a bigger night at the plate. It's a guy that doesn't hit.
Making his cuts. And it's 0-1 as Matthews quickly gets ahead of Fister, who's been sensational so far for Seattle on the mound. And one thing about Ryan Matthews, doesn't spend a lot of time out there. Gets it and throws it.
Oh, you like that. Guys that come out of the bullpen work fast and throw strikes.
Fister swing and a miss, and he's ahead in the count is Matthews. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fister trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Personal 3-game losing streak for him. 2 and 4 on the road, and Matthews gets him to strike out. So a rare 1-2-3 inning tonight for the Nationals as we head For the Mariners, a 1-for-3 night, a couple of RBIs. Adam Kennedy, 2 for 3, the former National, a run scored, 2 driven in. And Doug Fister, lowest run support in the American League, 2.19 runs per game they've been scoring for him. They got 5 for him tonight.
Yeah, sinker's been good for Fister. 6 ground ball outs so far, just 2 strikeouts, so he's pitching to contact. And making the Nationals put the ball in play. You see the sinker to Espinosa right there, the high fastball to Roger Bernardina. He's doing it on offense, too. First time up, big sacrifice bunt. The second time up, RBI single. So Doug Fister having a great night so far.
He's had 2 or fewer runs support in 11 of 14 starts this year. But tonight, of all nights, Seattle breaks out the bats. They got a 5-0 cushion for him as he faces Brian Bixler to pinch hit to start the bottom of the 6th inning. Bixler hitting for Matthews. And Ballister continues to heat up in the Nationals bullpen.
Yeah, nice job, Brian Matthews.
You're not kidding.
You keep doing that, you'll be pitching with the lead soon enough. When you talk about a rookie coming up, first time go around the big leagues, he shows the manager that he can throw strikes and get guys out. Guess what? You'll get some meaningful innings coming up.
Down to the short. Land across the diamond and almost beat it out. Just did get him. But Bixler's got some speed. For the Nationals tonight, 2 base hits. Zimmerman and Worth. And a lot of zeros, FP.
Yeah, the offense has definitely not showed up tonight. They've been pretty solid this whole homestand, but tonight, not so good.
So Bixler is gone. Ian Desmond steps in. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Flew out to center back in the 3rd. And Desmond hit. So Ian on, hit by a pitch. And we go back to the Nationals top of the lineup and Jason Worth, and then Roger Bernardina and Ryan Zimmerman.
Yeah, curveball just got away from Fister right there.
You said earlier Justin Worth.
That's my bad. I said Justin Worth, Jason's younger brother, if you missed it earlier, because he shaved his beard. So Johnny,
there's Justin stepping in now.
He just called him Justin. That is awesome.
Thanks.
I'll wear that one for you.
Take one for me?
Yeah, absolutely. See what happens when you mess around?
I know. Well, let's see if Worth can get something going. In this homestand, Jason 6 for 27 now. And Fister delivers outside in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes to Jason Worth. Even though his average is not up there, he has been on base safely in 29 of his last 32 ball games, either by a walk or hit by pitch or a base hit. Jason to Jim Wolf, the home plate umpire. A little conversation. And Wolf is saying, "I don't recognize you. Who are you?"
And he said, Justin Worth, Jason's younger brother. All right, enough.
Yeah. Desmond at first. Outside for ball 3. Worth has never faced Fister before. Bernardino on deck. 0 for 2 with a strikeout. 3 balls and no strikes to the Nationals right fielder. Nats need some hits, some base runners too. They got 2 now. Worth with a free pass. With a one away, and Bernardino strides to the plate.
So a hit by pitch, a walk, and Roger Bernardina steps up, and he's been great this whole homestand. A couple of infield singles the other day, and then a home run too. But you look at the one against Kyle Loesch right there, got a pitch out over the plate. So he showed a lot of power in this homestand. And we talk about getting back into a baseball game where you're down by 5 runs. One swing of the bat right here from Roger Bernardina, and it's game on.
That's all it takes, and Roger been playing home run derby recently. Got 4 homers now on the year. He'll take a call strike on the inside corner from Pfister. Doug Pfister's longest outing this year, 8 innings against the Angels, 8 against the Indians, 8 against the Tigers. And he's into the 6th in this game. Desmond at second, Worth at first. And the Nationals got something going, hopefully. And the 1-1. Down the left field line, foul by about 10 feet.
All of a sudden, you're starting to hear the crowd.
Well, we heard them over the weekend. They've been kind of quiet tonight.
Yeah, very, very impressed with the crowds. This whole homestand against the Cardinals first, then against the Orioles. Very intense atmosphere in this ballpark, and they are waiting for something to cheer about tonight.
And Bernardino with a good eye takes that ball inside. It's 2-2 now. Bernardino 3 home runs in this homestand. He's had 6 RBIs. Nice to see him tag one here. Shot up the middle. Base hit number 3. Desmond may score. He will, standing up. No play at second. And it's a 5-1 ball game. Bernardino with RBI number 15.
Let's check out the pitch sequence to Roger Bernardino. Takes one right down the middle for a first pitch strike. A little off speed in the dirt. Big curveball. He stays back nicely right there. Hits it foul. Now a little 2-strike adjustment. He's been great lately with 2 strikes. He's sticking his nose in there battling. Just throws it up the middle. Good job, Jason Worth, going first to third on that ball. All of a sudden, the Nats are on the board, and more importantly, this crowd is into the ball game.
And the pitch track brought to you by SAIC. SAIC is holding a career event June 28th for cleared IT and software professionals. Visit SAIC.com/baseball to learn more. Quick trip to the mound. A little activity, a little movement out there in that Seattle bullpen now with the Nationals runners on the corner and something going here in the 6th inning.
So pretty good adjustments, third time around. Jason Worth works a walk. Roger Bernardino fights a hit up the middle for an RBI.
And all of a sudden it's a 5-1 ball game. And Ryan Zimmerman to step in to face Doug Pfister.
See if Bernardino's thinking about going sometime here. Down by 4, you got to get your best jump and make sure you make it.
10 stolen bases already for Roger. Zimmerman bounced into a double play in the first, had an infield single in the 4th down the third baseline that Pfister couldn't get much on the ball to throw it the first.
That might be the longest 10-game hitting streak in history.
Going back to last season. April of this year, I beg your pardon. Been missing 58 games. And then coming back. Worth at third. Bernardino at first. 1 out. And they count no balls and 2 strikes to the Nationals' third baseman.
Zimmerman didn't like the call. It was a good pitch from Pfister. That's one of those where you just have to hang with them. You don't want to swing at this. You don't want to offer at this with the runner in scoring position.
Slider,
that's
86.
Just a perfect pitch. Now you got to fight with 2 strikes.
And the 0-2. Foul down the third base line. Bo Porter, nice hand. Tosses up to a fan behind the Mariners dugout. And the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. '27-year-old Doug Pfister's allowed the Nationals only 3 base hits. 1 in the first, another in the 4th, 1 here in the 6th. And that one was Bernardino with the RBI. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ryan Zimmerman. On deck, Lance Nix. And the 1-2. Instead, Pfister putting Bernardino right back to the bag at first.
A little heat check right there. Let them know you haven't forgot about him.
And the 1-2. Grounded to second. Great play at second base by Ackley. The throw to short for one and back to first. And Zimmerman throws his helmet in disgust. He bounces into an inning double play. So we have played 6 and Seattle by 4, 5-1. Also, network ahead. To learn more, visit Verizon.com/GetFios. That Phillies pitcher Jim Bunning pitched a perfect game June 21st, 1964, becoming the first player to toss a no-hitter in both leagues. Bunning, a former Detroit Tiger and a former Senator from Kentucky. 1964. Colin Ballister comes on now for the Nationals. He's the third pitcher of the night for Washington. 4 games this year for Colin. 4 appearances, 5.06 earned run average, 5 1/3 innings of work, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, walked 4, and he struck out 3.
And pretty much fastball, curveball from Colin Ballister. Run the fastball up there about 94 miles an hour. Throws the fastball 70% of the time, throws the curveball 30% of the time.
And Ichiro leads off for Seattle. You know, we were talking to FP about all the accolades that he's collected in his illustrious career, but how about 10 consecutive, the last 10 years, batting average of 300 or better?
Unbelievable.
That's unheard of. Along with the All-Stars, along with the Gold Gloves.
321, 312, 372, 303.
Stop it, you're killing.
322, 351,
310, 352.
And 315.
Right off the top of your head. Another base hit for Ichiro. That is his second tonight.
It's funny, him and Albert Pujols broke in the same day, and they've both had 20 seasons and 20 seasons over 500, over 300 between them. Just unbelievable stats between those two. And look at how much his head moves. Just walking through the baseball right there. Tremendous hand-eye coordination. A front foot hitter, obviously. But whatever he does, it works.
The Expo brought to you by Ram Trucks, designed, tested, and proven to be the best trucks we've ever built. Ram. Ichiro at first. A threat to take second every time he's on base. With 18 bags stolen so far.
I was checking out the Seattle paper the other day. Larry Stone had a great comparison between Albert Pujols and Ichiro. These are guys that broke into the big leagues at the same time. And you talk about those numbers with Ichiro. Obviously different kinds of hitters, but they've both hit over 300 their whole careers. Now Pujols 314, 359, 331, 330, 331, 327, 357, 327, 312. And funny, this year they're both having subpar years. Pujols before he got hurt, 279. And I would venture to say Ichiro with 2 hits tonight is somewhere around 279.
And you think of Pujols, you think of a power hitter, not an average guy.
Right. But their careers, numbers-wise, from an average standpoint, have mirrored each other. And they're both hitting the exact same this year. Unbelievable.
Ichiro at first base. Seattle has nobody out here in the 7th inning. Colin Bannister gives up a base hit. The first batter he faces, Brendan Ryan. Now there goes Ichiro, the throw down, and he has his 19th stolen base. That ball might have got him. Ryan Matthews went 2 innings for the Nationals, 1 strikeout through 25 pitches. Levon tonight. What a tough night. 4 innings for Levo, 10 hits, 5 runs, 4 were earned. He walked a batter, struck out 2, and he threw 70 pitches. The Bannister now is a runner at second base in scoring position. Ichiro with stolen base number 19. And the count to Ryan is 3 balls and no strike.
You see where Danny Espinosa is right here. Once again behind the bag, so he's trying to hold his ground. A better job of getting in front there, trying to straddle. But he should be like right in this area right here. So you get in front of the base right here, and this is where you take the throw. That way you clear yourself of the runner. You grab the baseball and you go back and tag him. If you're getting there late, you're getting there at the same time. It's hard to make a tag. So we love the range of Danny Espinosa, and what he's doing right there is he's playing deep enough to where he can get some balls, but he's having trouble getting to the base for the throws. Yeah. You get there in time, you set yourself, you catch that ball, you throw the tag down, but when you're getting there at the same time or you're behind the runner, it's tough to make the play.
And you saw the ball bounce off Ichiro's leg. A shot up the middle, Bannister deflects it. Espinosa on the first, got him by a step. And Ichiro can't advance to third, stays at second. Good play by Danny off the deflection from Colin Bannister.
And those are the little things you learn as a young player. And we talk about all the great plays all the time and how I think Danny Espinosa is going to win a Gold Glove, maybe even this year. Those are things he's learning on the fly. I mean, that's a guy that played shortstop his whole career. And covering a steal from shortstop's a lot easier than covering a steal from second base. Shortstop, you just cruise over. The runner's in front of you. The play's in front of you. Now, second baseman, you got to get over there. Your back's to the play. You got to spin yourself around, get in front of the base, and catch the baseball.
Much more difficult to make it as a second baseman. Foul down the right field line.
And Johnny, I was a shortstop my whole career. They made me a utility player in Double-A. But when I had to go from shortstop to second base, all of a sudden the game's backwards to you. You're doing everything the opposite of what you've done.
Thinking too much instead of reacting?
No, the game moves the other way. Shortstop, everything's in front of you. You grab the ball, first base is in front of you. The double play feed, it's in front of you. You're taking steals, the play's in front of you. But now at second base, you're going the other way. You're fielding the ball, and when you have to throw to second base, it's foreign to you. And when you're covering on a steal, it's foreign to you. So Danny Espinosa has been playing second base for a while, but as he plays longer, these are the little nuances that he'll learn to make him an even better player. He's already great. And little things like that will make him a superstar.
Adam Kennedy trying to get his third base hit, flies to Worth and right. Ichiro was halfway down to third, has to hustle back to second. So they finally retired Kennedy for the second time tonight. Johnny Holiday along with FP Santangelo tonight from Nationals Park. The Nationals in the first of 3 against Seattle. 5-1 Mariners leading it. Bobby's taken a couple of days off. Bobby, as Ray refers to him, right, FP? Bobby Carpenter?
A little Bobby Carpenter taking 3 days off.
3 days off, and I'll be around with you tomorrow and Thursday, and then Bob back with FP on Friday in Chicago. And I'll be back with Ray. That's extra pre and post on Friday night. 2 down in the 7th, 5-1 Seattle. Nationals finally got a run across in the bottom of the 6th. And they finally got Kennedy out. The fly to right to Worth. And Justin Smoke, an even dangerous batter, more dangerous than Kennedy, steps into that cleanup spot. He's had a base hit and a walk, and then fouled to third in his last time up.
Johnny, you're doing a great job tonight. The one thing we're going to miss from Bob Carpenter, amongst others, is Bob's bootleg weather. And there's some lightning and some thunder in the distance right now, and I know Bob would be upset with me if I didn't report that.
Line drive to center, converted, he didn't get it. Yes, he caught it. And that retires the side and gets the Mariners down in the 7th inning. We go to the bottom of the 7th. See if the Nats can get something going, trailing by 4.
Anniversary of Pudge Rodriguez's Major League debut with the Rangers, and earlier today I talked to him about his longevity in the game.
Time goes, by very fast. Sometimes you can't believe, how many years you've been playing. It's been a while, for sure. 20 years, a lot of years, but as long as you love what you do, without playing baseball, and that's the way I look all this, I still love what I do, and the passion to play baseball, is always very short.
And Pudge, of course, credits his longevity in the game to being healthy, and also he's got such an incredible work ethic. He's always in the gym during the season, and just a really fine career he's had so far, and will continue to have. Johnny, FP?
Yep, one of the nicest guys in baseball, too, Debbie, as you and Bob at FP know, and just the times that Ray and I have a chance to interact with Pudge Rodriguez. Not only what he's done since he broke in way back in 1991 with Texas, but what he does off the field as well. A lot of his charitable activities. Just a class guy. And happy that the Nationals have got him on this ball club. Lance Nix will try to get something going, leading off the 7th inning. Bottom of the 7th, 5-1 Seattle. And the count's 2 balls and no strikes. And Henry Rodriguez now working out in the Nationals bullpen. He would be the 4th pitcher to come in. And Fister delivers, and Nix pops it down the left field line. That's going to be foul. Just in front of the stands, bounces up into the stands.
And Fister's done such a good job all night long of what Livan Hernandez did last time against the Cardinals. Just shaving the strike zone, living on the corners, keeping the Nationals hitters off balance with off speed.
Nix with 27 RBIs on the year. And he's knocked 10 home runs out of the parks. A couple of stolen bases as well.
He takes a called third right there in the front door sinker.
And that's 1 down in the 7th.
You look at a 2-seam fastball right at Lance Nix. Arms up in the air. Only time it's a strike is when it hits the catcher's glove. Good pitch.
And there's 1 down here in the 7th. And Espinosa's, rather, Michael Moore steps in. Then Danny Espinosa. Morse with 13 homers, tied with Espinosa for the club lead. Nix is right behind him with 10. Jason Worth has 10. That's only one of 3 teams in all of baseball to have 4 guys with double-digit home run totals. Diamondbacks and the Yankees are the other. Bouncer down the third baseline. That's foul. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Michael Morse. 0 for 2 tonight. The former Seattle Mariner.
And if he goes deep right now, he's Roy Hobbs, because there is lightning all over the place.
Fouls it back out of play. You get exclusive Nats coverage on your mobile phone. Text Nationals to 29292. Message and data rates may apply. Your Mergelman and thought process of how do we get some runners on base to get some runs across the plate. Down by 4 in the last of the 7th inning. Bob is a one-time weatherman, IFP.
No, he just thinks he is.
Down to Kennedy, third, and across. Arid throw, but it is foot in the bag, and there's 2 down as Morse grounds out to Kennedy. 5-3. Daddy Espinosa comes up for the 3rd time, struck out and flied out. You ever win any golf tournaments at all? You're a golfer. Did you ever win any tournaments?
No.
Won my first one yesterday.
Did you really?
Yep. First time I've ever been with a group of guys that won a tournament.
Did you pencil whip them? Did you cheat?
Oh, no. We Charlie Calkins, Henry Lamar, Carl Kleindienst, Rex Feldmiller, Tom Spinagle at the York County Special Olympics Celebrity Golf Classic they had at the Outdoor Country Club. A lot of national fans up there, incidentally.
Very cool. What'd you shoot?
We shot 13 under, I think, as a team. Bounded it right back to Pfister, and the inning is over. 1-2-3 for Pfister in the 7th. He continues to be on fire tonight. We go to the top of the 8th. The Nationals down by 4. Season, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50. That's to support the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Washington, D.C. And so far to date, the Nats have drawn 220 walks. Do your math. That adds up to a total of $11,000. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Gary Hairston Jr. goes to left field. And Nix is out of the ball game, so pencil in Hairston out there. And Ballister back to the hill for the Nationals. Hairston will hit in the number 4 spot, and Nix's spot in the lineup. And a high foul ball. Zimmerman's got a beat on this one just off the third baseline, and there's one down in the 8th and 1 pitch. Dustin Ackley retired. Carlos Peguero, then Franklin Gutierrez.
Grounds crew getting into position right now. Looks like one thunderstorm is moving right towards us.
You're a regular Bob Ryan, aren't you?
I don't know who Bob Ryan is, but there's a thunderstorm coming at us.
He's Mr. Weather here in town. Well, he was until Carpenter started to get into it. One away in the 8th inning. 5-1 Mariners. Another swing and a miss by Gutierrez. The Mariners center fielder. And Ballister comes inside and tight, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ballister up and down the last couple of years with a ball club. And recall from AAA Syracuse last Wednesday. With 2-1 save and strikes out Figueroa. Let's go down to Debbie Taylor. She's got some information on Lance Nix, why he's not the ball game.
Well, apparently, Johnny, Lance Nix left the game. His Achilles is bothering him, so he is going to be checked out in the clubhouse right now.
Okay, thank you, Debbie. 2 quick outs. Then Ballister retires Ackley, then Figueroa. Now he's got to face Gutierrez. FP, you like what you see from the Seattle team?
I like what I see from Doug Fister tonight.
Yeah.
It's a very good outing by him. He's kept the Nationals hitters off balance pretty much all night long. And that's how they've been doing it. You talk to the Mariners people, it's all about getting the clutch hit, getting great pitching. Their bullpen's been lights out for them all season long. So that's kind of their formula for success, hitting 240 as a team, but they've been getting the big hit. That's why they're a couple games over 500 and right in the mix in the American League West.
84 pitches Fister's thrown and 54 strikes in 7 innings. And there is nobody up in that Seattle bullpen. Ballister trying to make it a 1-2-3 8th inning. Not going to do it. A base hit to left. And Gutierrez is on with his 3rd hit of the night. He's 3 for 4. And Chris Jimenez will stand in against Ballister.
I mean, this team's hot. They just took 2 out of 3 from the Phillies at home. They just played in front of a sellout crowd of 45,000 on Sunday. And Justin Vargas threw a shutout against the Phillies. They've won 7 out of their last 10 series.
Yeah.
So they're winning series. They're backing up good pitching with clutch hits.
And a game out in the West. And their pitcher got an RBI tonight.
And if you'd have told Doug Fister before the game he's getting 4 at-bats tonight, he would have said, I'm in. I'll take 4 at-bats.
And we have seen Ichiro Suzuki, who leads all of Major League Baseball with 266 hits during interleague play. Michael Young and Derek Jeter trailing him. One ball and no strikes to Jimenez. Then there for a call, strike 1-1. 2 down here in the 8th inning. As you look ahead to the Washington 8th, Ramos. Someone fit for Ballister probably. And then Desmond. And back to the top of the order. .93 in the radar gun with that fastball. So the count's 2-1, 2 out. And Ichiro down at first base. And check that Gutierrez at first base. It's almost like all Ichiro all the time, huh? With this ball club. Two-one pitch on the way. Kicking ball inside. High pop behind the plate. No play for Ramos. Out of play. Hit the road sometime. How about taking the Nationals with you this season? Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Nationals game, either live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Nationals.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball is everywhere. Count is full to Chris Jimenez. There goes Gutierrez. And the pitch is high for ball 4.
Yeah, 3-2 curveball with the pitcher on deck. Understand the pitch call just a little bit high. When you talk about being within one swing of the bat, this becomes a big at-bat in this baseball game. Well, obviously the Nationals haven't done a whole lot offensively tonight, but the one thing we've learned about this team is they don't go away, they fight.
All the time.
So when you're down by 4, you're still within one swing of the bat. You got to keep it right there if you're Colin Ballister.
Doug Fister had been 0 for 2 in his career as a hitter. 2 strikeouts at the plate. But tonight got a base hit back in the 4th inning and his first RBI. And of course, after his first base hit. One of 12 Seattle knocks tonight. And Ballister probably saying to himself, let's get rid of this guy quickly. Ballister had in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. And Fister stays alive. Seattle under 500 FP on the road this year, 16 and 17.
And they've been pretty good at home, though. You talk about the crowds they've been getting up there. They lost over 100 games last year, 61 and 101. So everybody in Seattle excited the fact that they're 2 games over 500.
Desmond on the first side, retired. That's the 8th inning for the Mariners. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and they've still got a 4-run lead over the Nationals. Dealers and by Sonic, America's drive-in. It's new, it's better. It's the new Sonic Good. 5-1 Seattle as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning here at Nationals Park. Nats only have 3 base hits in this ball game. Seattle's racked up 12.
And time for the Home Depot doing more on defense. Let's go back to the 6th inning, right where the Nats looked like they had something going on. Ryan Zimmerman, good at bat, 2 strikes right there, hit the ball the other way, but Dustin Ackley said, not so fast, my friend. Good play right there. Good feed to Brendan Ryan. And just as soon as you thought the Nats were in business, a little rally-killing double play. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Greg Hallman, the new left fielder now for the Mariners, replacing Carlos Figueroa. And the Nationals send up Wilson Ramos. And then Matt Stairs in the on-deck circle, and then Ian Desmond. That's winners of 8 or 9 within 2 games of 500. And a rare visit to our nation's capital tonight by Seattle. No balls and a strike to Ramos. He's 0 for 2 in this game. And Fister catches the outside part of the plate for a strike. Todd Coffey out in the Nationals bullpen. Last complete game for Fister, April 14th at Kansas City. And this is way outside.
And pitch number 88 coming up for Doug Fister. Just on cruise control tonight.
Only his second start against a National League opponent. Faced Milwaukee last year, did not get no decision in that ball game. A 5-4 loss at Milwaukee.
It's even more impressive when you think about the climate that these guys playing up in Seattle. Very hot, very muggy tonight. Here's Doug Fister, sweating out there in the 8th inning, doing a great job.
Bouncer down to third. Kennedy across to Smoke. And there's one away. You want to catch the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report on Wednesday, 5:30 to 6:30 tomorrow afternoon. Here's some of the Nats' top prospects appearing in the South Atlantic League All-Star Game. And Tom Davis is your host. Dave Johnson, Mel Anton, it'll be there tomorrow 5:30 on Massett HD. Ramos retired and Matt Stairs will step in. Got his 100th career pinch hit against the Phillies last month, a 9th inning single. And a breaking ball in for a strike. First home run to this ball club, FP. He will have homered for 12 clubs in his major league career.
12 different teams.
12 different teams. I think probably a base hit would do it now, huh?
Yeah, he's been working hard.
He sure has. In that cage every day.
Behind the scenes, working hard out here early every day. His average and his numbers definitely not where he wants them right now.
It's a fly to right. Ichiro is back and on the warning track hauls it in. Didn't quite get all of that, did he?
Yeah, it didn't have that sound, but a good swing nonetheless. A good piece of 2-strike hitting. He was working on going the other way in batting practice today, and a lot of times you get your hands in the right position going the other way, and you see that's just off the end. And great shot with the Exmo right here. See where it hits, a little vibration, and that was the difference. Good at-bat, good swing.
Good extension.
Just didn't have the distance.
Exmo brought to you by the new 2011 Jeep Compass.
And Fister stealing strike one with that get me over curveball.
Hit by pitch back in the 6th and scored a run, did Ian. Jason Worth. Roger Bernardino next. We're in the last of the 8th inning. Nationals got a lot of work to do in a short amount of time, trailing at 5-1. 21,000 plus here tonight at Nationals Park. 21,502.
21,000 people dying for something to cheer about.
Something to cheer about. Been kind of a quiet crowd all night long. It's 1-2 to Ian Desmond, hit by a pitch in the 6th and flew out to center in the 3rd. Nationals haven't had a lot of base runners in this ball game. 3 base hits, a hit by pitch. I think Fister's only walked 1. In the 6th inning, he walked Worth, and that's his only free pass. Mr. set with a 2-2. Fouled off to the left in front of the Mariners dugout. Well, he's gone 8 innings twice this year against Cleveland and the Angels back in May. That's been his longest outing. In those games, gave up 4 hits and 6 hits. Bouncer up the middle. Lions got to hurry. Nice scoop by Smoke. Inning retired. And we go to the top of the ninth with Seattle riding a 5-1 lead over Washington. O'clock in Massett HD. The Nats and Mariners play game 2 of this 3-game series. Eric Bedard will go for the Mariners. He is 4-4 with a 3.16 ERA. Florida's last 9 starts, 1.70. And for the Nationals, the left-hander John Lannon. Last 5 starts, he's won 2 of those, 1.08 earned run average. And for the year, John is 4-5, 3.52 earned run average. Coverage beginning at 6:30 tomorrow night with Nats Extra. Todd Coffey's come on now for the Nats. Hustling in from the bullpen for his 31st appearance.
Yeah, this game needs a little bit of coffee. A fastball slider split from Todd Coffey. Run that fastball up there about 93 miles an hour.
He'll face Suzuki, Ryan, and Kennedy in the top of the ninth. Delivers a fastball and Ichiro fouls it back. Single run scored in the first, ground out in the second. Do a double play in the fourth and a hit in the stolen base in the 7th for Suzuki. Ballister goes 2 innings tonight, gives up only 2 hits, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. How about that? Well, Coffey saying, take that, all-star. No balls and 2 strikes.
I think you go high with Ichiro with 2 strikes. Climb the ladder, throw something up in his eyes.
How about inside?
Well, the danger of going inside to Ichiro is he's running down the first baseline basically when he's swinging. So you go inside, he can inside out it, he can pull it if he's looking in there. I've seen him walk into some home runs on fastballs on the inner half. He just kind of walks right into it and pulls it out of the ballpark. He has surprising pop. He just never really uses it.
And the 1-2. Fouls it down the left side. Coffey, the last 27 appearances, his earned run average has been amazing. 1.46. Nobody's been hitting him. 23 strikeouts. Seattle up by 4, 5-1 in a rapidly moving ball game at the top of the ninth. It has been all Doug Fister this evening, and Coffey just misses. And it's 2-2. Dodge got credit for a couple of wins tonight coming out of the bullpen. Bouncer down to second. Espinosa on the Morse, and there's one away. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Johnny Holiday, FP Santangelo with you. One out in the top of the ninth. And Coffey will face Brendan Ryan. Ryan's had a pretty good night. Couple of hits. Double, single, run.
Coffey's got the slider back tonight. Last couple of outings, he's been throwing the slider through the break. Hasn't had a real good feel for it after about 4 or 5 outings where he had probably one of his better sliders he's ever had. So that's a good sign tonight. Slider's back.
Pop up to Espinosa, and there's 2 down. Bill Ryan is retired. And Adam Kennedy comes up, and he's had a terrific night tonight.
And Brandon Lee getting loose in the Seattle bullpen. He features a fastball that goes about 100 miles an hour at times. 97 to 100. He's got a very, very powerful arm.
The league has converted his last 13 saves. Pretty dominating, huh?
He's got great stuff. Not a save opportunity tonight, so we'll see how he reacts. A lot of times closers get in there and it's not an official save, and they struggle with it mentally.
Kennedy with a shot down to the right field corner. It is a fair ball. And Kennedy with a stand-up double in the 9th inning. That is his 3rd base hit of the night. Barely avoiding the chalk down the right field line.
Yeah, it was just a sinker out over the plate, and we've talked about it a lot tonight. Kennedy, a low ball hitter, another pitch down in the strike zone. That's just perfectly placed. Nothing you can do about it. Look how close this is.
Yep.
Bam.
Right on the line.
The outer edge of the line. And you saw some chalk, so it was fair. Good call.
Well, the former National gets his 13th two-bagger of the year. And the 2 down. Justin Smoke will face Todd Coffey. Smoke got caught at third base in the 1st inning by heads-up play by Zimmerman and Levant Hernandez. 1 ball and no strikes as we look to the bottom of the 9th for the Nationals. At the top of the order, Worth and Bernardina and Zimmerman to try to get something going. It's been like this all night at NFP.
Yeah, I mean, the Mariners keep pushing. Base runners pretty much every inning, except for the 6th. 1, 2, 3 inning from Ryan Matthews. They've been pushing every inning, and the Nationals haven't been able to string together any hits.
Fastball inside, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Nationals scoring runs at a rapid rate the last couple of weeks. Outside of that San Diego series, all 2-1, 2-1, and 2-0 wins, but wins indeed. But tonight just can't get anything going. Only 3 hits for the Nationals. Foul back out of play.
And 13 for the Mariners.
That's what's so great about baseball, huh? You just never know.
I mean, you don't.
No. That's why you play 9 as well. Took the first 2 from Baltimore, 8-4, 4-2 after taking care of the Cardinals. 8 runs, 10 runs, 7 runs. And the 2-2 pitch from Coffey. Swing at a high fly to right. Worth will have this one. And we head to the bottom of the ninth. The Nationals need some base runners. They need some runs to send this thing to extra innings or to win it. They trail by 4.
Head to the bottom of the ninth inning. Nats Extra post-game show presented by WB Mason. Hopefully a long ways away, but you look at what's happened tonight, and Livan Hernandez, coming off that shutout complete game, just did not have it tonight.
He had trouble locating his breaking ball tonight, Byron, and the Mariners weren't hitting him hard, but they were hitting him just hard enough to get the ball over the infield, and obviously he struggled pretty much every inning he was out there.
Well, you hit it right in the pregame show. Doug Fister, not a strikeout pitcher, but he certainly dazzled the Nats. Only 2 base runners in the first 5 innings.
Well, in 6 of the 8 innings he's pitched, he's faced the minimum 3 hitters. I mean, that kind of speaks for itself. He put the ball where he wanted to. He got ground ball outs. This was his night.
All right, so 5-1 Seattle. Johnny and FP, as you said, looking to get something going. The top of the order, that's where you want to be as they head to the bottom of the ninth, and we'll have the post-game show immediately following the game, guys.
Thank you, Byron. Thank you, Phil, very much. And we head to the bottom of the ninth inning. It's Worth and Bernardina and Ryan Zimmerman to try to get something going and somehow win this ball game.
You see the numbers on Brandon Lee. Look at the strikeouts to walks. 20 strikeouts versus just 4 walks. And Lee goes fastball, slider, split finger. Pretty much fastball split. He'll throw the fastball 96 miles an hour on average about 70% of the time, and he'll throw that split about 30% of the time.
The lead comes in here in the ninth inning. No complete game for Fister. Seattle up by 4. League's 33rd appearance. His record is 0-4. Worth tonight 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. And League, the right-hander, misses outside. It's 1 ball and a strike. Well, Fister 8 solid innings. Done that 2 of his last 3 starts. He will, unless the Nationals can pull this out, snap a personal 3-game losing streak. Worth fouled it down the right field line. League is 28 from Sacramento. Not really Sacramento guys, huh?
Yeah.
Did you know him out there?
I did not.
He led All-American League relievers in wins last year and also ranked 2nd in appearances. And a much better record at home than he does on the road.
He was born in Sacramento, went to high school in Honolulu, Hawaii.
It's a tough assignment. picked by Toronto in the second round back in the 2001 draft. Well, the count is 1-2 as Worth is hanging tough here in the bottom of the ninth. Nationals down by 4. And Worth making league work a little bit. He had the second most innings pitched among American League relievers last year. And the most win by relievers in the American League. Bounded down to first, mishandled by Smoke into right field, and Wirt's going to try to make it to second, and will. Standing up. So a little something going here in the ninth.
And that ball was hit pretty hard. Nice two-strike battle from Jason Wirth. Nice fight on a sinker down in the zone. Lets it get deep, goes the other way. Little protective swing right there. And Smoke couldn't handle it.
Now they're going to charge Smoke with an error. Wirth winds up at second base.
So it all started with a two-base error.
Good look at the newly shaven, clean-shaven Jason Wirth, and Roger Bernardine has had a good night. 1 for 3, the RBI single, driving in the Nationals' only run back in the 6th inning. He'll try to keep things going here in the last of the ninth. Ryan Zimmerman on deck, then Gary Hairston Jr.
And this is where you have to think like a leadoff hitter. Even Ryan Zimmerman on deck, leadoff hitter mentality. You need base runners right here. You got to try to get the tie-in run of the plate. And this is where the Nationals are going to miss Lance Nix. He's out of the game with a sore right Achilles. Due up after Zimmerman. If you can get this game to Michael Morse with some runners on base, you'll be happy if you're Jim Riggleman.
Well, you're not kidding. League ahead in the count to Roger Bernardine. 2 no balls and 2 strikes. Nice gap between right and center field. As you look at the Mariners outfield. And the count is 1-2 to Roger Bernardino.
You see the big gap in right center, but right now Roger Bernardino has to fight to put the ball in play. You saw the split right there from Brandon League. 2-strike approach, down and run, hit the ball on the ground, try to beat it out. Just put the ball in play.
If it's on the ground, you got a shot because Bernardino's got that great speed. Fouls it back out of play, and it's still a ball and 2 strikes. Don't miss the Potomac Nationals defending their Carolina League Championship at Pittsburgh Stadium in Woodbridge. You can make the short drive from D.C. Discover the next Danny Espinosa. Yes, sir, the stars of the future are in your backyard with the Potomac Nationals. League checking Wirth at second. Bernardino takes ball 2.
Good battle, good fight. Pitch before that, Bernardino did a nice job of fouling off some 98-mile-an-hour fuzz on his hands.
Well, the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out in the bottom of the ninth. Inside for ball 3 and a fastball.
Seen it big.
Yes, sir.
Good take right there.
And the 3-2. He walked it.
Good at bat.
Great at bat. Had him 1-2 and lost him.
Good fight. Fouled off some tough pitches. You need base runners, leadoff hitter mentality right there. So Ryan Zimmerman going to do his best to get on base, and Nats are dying hard. I love it.
Nationals have won 9 games in their last at-bats. Let's make it 10. Worth at second. Bernardina at first. Nobody out. And Ryan Zimmerman facing Brandon Lee.
99.
I can bring it, can he?
And he's going to have to start throwing strikes sometime soon.
Check of the runners and to Zimmerman. Fouls it back into the seats down the right field line.
Well, Johnny, we talked about it before this inning. Excuse me. When you're a closer, you're an adrenaline junkie. You live for that save opportunity. You want to save the game for 24 other guys. And in my experiences, I've seen closers come in non-save opportunities and scuffle. It's just a different mentality, a different mindset, and I think you're seeing that right now from Brandon Lee. Nats are trying to take advantage of that.
And he's got to be figuring we got a 4-run lead. Zimmerman, Ryan for one, back to first, double play. And Worth takes third.
And the second double play of the night for Ryan Zimmerman, and that one hurts a little bit. Third, excuse me. Forgot about the one.
All the same, 4-6-3. Or 6-4-3. No Jerry Hairston Jr. He came in as a defensive replacement for Lance Nix in left field. We'll try to keep the Nationals' hopes alive with Worth at third, 2 down. Gary with a .247 batting average, couple of homers, 15 driven in, and 20 runs scored. Takes a strike from Brandon Lee, and it's 0-1. Lee with a 3.90 earned run average. On a save opportunity, but he has saved 20 of 23. Hairston with a fly ball to left. Drifting toward the line and up in the seats, foul. Long run for Greg Hallman to no avail. Oh, Hairston digging in again. Now the count to Hairston, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Michael Morse on deck if needed, and hopefully he will be. Fastball outside, so it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. FP, you might say just nothing going on tonight, huh?
Well, 3 hits, Johnny, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, the double plays have killed him. The lack of offense has killed him. But you know what? The beautiful thing about tonight is tomorrow.
Yes. 3 double plays tonight. Count is full to Jerry. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and Worth down to third in a 5-1 Seattle ball game. Counter up the middle. That's base hit number 4 and run number 2. RBI for Hairston. And keeps the hopes alive. Worth will score easily from third.
A nice job of fighting Jerry Hairston Jr. 2-strike battle, 2-strike fight. Die hard. You never want to make the last out of a game. Not only do you not do that, you get yourself a base hit and an RBI. Good job.
16th RBI for Jerry Hairston. And Michael Morse trying to get his first base hit of this ball game. Grounded to third, short, and then third again. And Michael takes the first pitch for a ball. Last time these two teams met here in D.C., that swept Seattle back in 05 at RFK. Michael Morse had a series 4 for 11 against Washington playing for Seattle. Bounce it back out of play, and the count is 1-1. Credit to the Nationals, June 28th of 2009. And having just a sensational year. And the 1-1. Hairston going. It's off the leg of League, and Morse has got to beat it out. And quickly the trainer comes out to take a look at Brandon League. He took a shot right off his leg. And the Nationals have runners at first and second with 2 down.
And more importantly, they got the tying run to the plate in the form of Danny Espinosa with 13 home runs on the season. Nice job of going right back up the middle. Michael Morse checking in with his first knock of the night. Let's check it out. The fastball down the zone. That got League right in the right calf. And when you're hot, it ricochets to where nobody is. And when you're not, it ricochets right to an infielder.
That's right.
You see that right there? Gets him right on the calf. That's a direct hit. And see where it bounces? You're 0 for your last 13. Guess where that ball goes? Right to the shortstop. He steps on second base. Game over. But when you're hot, you get yourself a knock out of it.
So the Nationals still alive. Morse with a base hit. They give him a hit on that one. Hairston gets down to second. Runners at first and second. League's going to have a couple of tosses up to his catcher to see if he's okay. Chris Jimenez. And the trainer for the Mariners talking with him.
Yeah, Johnny, as a ball club, just generally speaking, when you could get the tying run to the plate in a game where you've scuffled offensively, I mean, that's all you ask for.
Yeah.
Especially when it's in the form of a guy with 13 home runs. You know, Danny Espinosa tied for the team lead with Michael Morse. Yeah, 13 home runs, 43 RBIs. This is a guy you want up. And whatever happens, happens after this. But as a manager, as a ball club, when you can get the tying run up there in the form of Danny Espinosa, and that's it for Brandon League, you got to like your chances.
League is not going to continue. Try to catch him off his. Morse gets a base hit right off the bottom of the calf of the right leg of Brandon League, right up the middle.
Yeah, let's check it out on the replay. Watch his right calf coming around. Bam! Direct hit right there, and that's one that's going to get tight. It's going to leave a mark, and it's not feeling good for Brandon League.
Almost appeared like he wanted to stay out there, but decided wisely against it. David Pauly is the new pitcher now for the Mariners in his 27th game with a 4-0 record. Strikeout pitcher, 25 Ks and only 10 walks.
Yeah, fastball, slider, curveball change from Pauly. And fastball about 89. Control and command guy. He's all around the plate. He goes right after hitters.
He is #1 among American League relievers with 1.12 ERA. Second in innings with 40 1/3 pitched. And over his last 22 appearances since April 18th, his ERA 0.81 and a 4-0 record. Pauly, Smith, Robertson, Rafael Perez, and Crow behind him. Best reliever in the American League.
The one thing from a mental standpoint, though, Johnny, is he wasn't ready to pitch tonight. You know, he thought that was Brandon League's inning. You got the 4-run lead. You're down there thinking about the spread. You're thinking about what you're going to do after the baseball game. All of a sudden, the phone rings, and you're in a baseball game. Let's see how he reacts. A lot of times you see guys that are down there, the closer's in the game. You're thinking game over, we won this game. You're not thinking about getting in there. A ball hits a guy's cap.
Right.
He's out of the game, and now you're in the heat of battle with the time run at the plate.
And the only warm-up pitches he threw is what you saw on the mound there. Did not have any time to warm up in the bullpen. So Danny Espinosa will step in against David Pauly.
And he's allowed to take as many pitches as he wants. When you come in for injury.
Didn't take a lot, did he?
No, you can stay out there. Well, relievers get hot quick, so it probably wasn't going to take a lot. So, you know, all of a sudden in the heat of battle, and Danny Espinosa looking for something that he can get into. And you have to have that mentality right here as a hitter. You're a guy with 13 home runs. You're looking for something to drive.
Gary Hairston Jr. down at second base. Michael Morse at first. 2 outs. Bottom of the ninth. 3 runs down are the Nationals. 5-2 Seattle. Base hit to right. Hairston around third. He will score standing up. And it's a 5-3 ball game. Espinosa, 44th RBI of the season.
Keep the line moving, Danny Espinosa. And I like the ambush. I like the first pitch hunting right there. And guy's not ready to play. He's not ready to pitch. What do? You get a sinker out over the plate.
First pitch.
Drill it to right field. So you turn an 0 for 3 into a 1 for 4 with an RBI. And more importantly, you keep the game alive. You keep the line moving.
And you bring up the big hitting catcher, Wilson Ramos. Morse at second. Espinosa at first in a 5-3 game. FP, you have said time and time again this year, you like this ball club because of what they do.
They die hard.
They never, ever cash it in.
They die hard. They fight to the last out.
Pudge Rodriguez on deck. His numbers against Seattle over 300 in his career. And now the 21,000 plus beginning to make some noise. Ramos first pitch swing and fouls it deep down the right field line.
Oh, he got a pitch to drive right there.
He sure did.
Fastball out over the plate. He wants that one back.
David Pauly on the mound, facing Wilson Ramos. 0-1 to count. 2 runs are in the bottom of the ninth. Morse at second. Pitch outside with a breaking ball. Low. And it's 1-1. Espinosa and Michael Morse both had 43 RBIs. Now Danny goes ahead in that race by 1 with his 44th. Seattle 13 hits, the Nationals 6. And trying to climb out of the hole. Swinging a long shot to left field. That one is going back, and it's gone! A 3-run walk-off homer for Wilson Ramos.
That is why you fight until the last out. Unbelievable.
about that? He missed in the first pitch, FP. You said he almost got the first one. Not that one, though.
That one was right out over the plate. And that sent 21,000 people home happy. Unbelievable. Wilson Ramos gets a cement mixer right out over the plate, and he knew it as soon as he got it. Walk-off, Jack. Thanks for coming. Nats win. Unbelievable. Look at the extension right there. And that's why you got to love this baseball team. They don't go away. They're having a tough night. They got 3 hits coming to the 9th inning. It doesn't look pretty. It doesn't look good. And what do? They fight until the last out. They battle their butts off, and they get themselves a W. When you start snatching wins like that, good things are coming. Trust me.
Ramos homer number 6. RBIs 20, 21, and 22. Let's go downstairs. Debbie Taylor with Wilson Ramos. Debbie?
Okay, thank you very much, Johnny. Wilson, what an unbelievable end to this game. Take us through that at bat. What were you thinking there?
I'm very excited right now. Very, very happy for this game. My first 3 at bat. I was looking for one pitch. And that situation, I was waiting for changeup. He threw me that pitch. I hit the ball pretty good.
This was such an unbelievable comeback. How were you guys able to battle tonight?
All
right, Wilson.
Those games, when we come back, the team get a lot of good reaction, and we get more confidence, for keep playing.
And you did a great job catching today. After Levo left, the bullpen really came in and shut the door down.
Yeah, the bullpen throw the ball pretty good. Ryan, throw too many good pitches today, but, I believe in my bullpen. I believe in my pitcher, and I do my best job today.
I think the Nationals fans believe in you. Congratulations, Wilson Ramos, with a dramatic home run to win it in the bottom of the 9th inning. We will be back with more from Nationals Park. The Nats defeat the Seattle Mariners in dramatic fashion. Stay close, everybody.